Yeah. You know, it's strange, because Vicky used to be the center of all the social activity here, and...
Well, she will be again. She will be again. I guess the reason I'm telling you all this is because, well, no doubt you're going to be spending a lot of time with her. And she is going to need a buffer until she gets her confidence back.
Yeah, Clint, listen, I don't really even want to ask this, but...
What?
Are you afraid that Nikki's going to come back?
Frankly, yes. Sometimes it's all I can think about. Maybe that's the problem, you know? Maybe she's picking up on my fear.
No, it's not just you. Believe me, she was worried about this a long time ago. Way back in the hospital she was. In fact, that's why she wants me to be here, to warn her. She wants me to watch her and warn her if there's any sign of Nikki coming out. You know, she starts using Nikki's mannerisms.
I had no idea she was that worried, that concerned.
Excuse me. Miss Lord, an applicant for Heron's job has just arrived.
Oh, Tina, Vicky agreed to replacing Heron for the time being?
Not exactly.
What do you mean, not exactly?
Well, I knew she'd agree, and she was so busy reading, I really didn't want to disturb her.
Peg, apologize to the gentleman. Tell him there's been a big mistake. All right, what stunt are you trying to pull now? You are unbelievable. Just when I think that things are going to start running smoothly around here, you pull another one of your stunts. I'm not through talking. Tina, I am just grateful as hell that you attempted to save Vicky from that car crash. And I appreciate it. I mean, I appreciate it from the depths of my soul. I am not going to stand around while you start playing your games.
Look, I know you asked me to
ask
Vicky before I...
Asked? I not only asked, I made it crystal damn clear to you what I expected you to do. And instead, you take off on your own initiative and... Tell me something. Just how many people are going to be applying for this little job?
Oh, only 3.
Only 3. Only 3. When they show up, you tell them to take a hike and get out of here with your apologies.
Look, why are you so angry with me, all right? I mean, I didn't want to disturb Vicky, so I just went ahead and did this. I thought I had every right.
You were wrong. You are assuming too damn much around here, young lady.
But Vicky invited me to come here. She asked me to help. I'm just trying to do everything I can to help.
Vicky might have invited you to live here. Invited you to live here. She did not, and no one else gave you carte blanche to run the household. Now, if you want to stay on here, you are going to follow certain strict rules. You got that?
Vicky never said anything about any rules, so I naturally assumed that I had the same freedom I used to have when I lived here before.
Did you hire servants before?
No, but...
Then you don't hire them now. Now, if you want to stay on here, we're going to set down some rules. My rules. And if you want to live here and be happy about it, you will follow them. And stop trying to take over.
I am not.
Good. You are not the mistress of Landfair, young lady. And you had better stop acting as if you were.
Figure out a way not to have to see that damn doctor today. I can fool Clint and Tina, but how do you fool a shrink? He knows everything about Vicky. He knows how she thinks and feels.
Vicky?
Hi, Tina.
Hi. I was just outside looking at the east. There's flowers, and I was thinking how wonderful it is to be back here in Landfair. You know what else is wonderful? The fact that we are no longer fighting.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah. It's too bad Victor can't be alive to see how well his 2 daughters are getting along now.
Oh, yes, he'd be very, very pleased, I think. Gee, I sure would like to spend the afternoon with you filling me in on those weeks that I missed as Nicky, but Dr. Polk is coming here.
Well, how do you feel about that?
I don't want him here. I don't need him. He makes me uptight. Oh, did I use that word wrong? Isn't that the word the kids use these days? What's wrong?
You know, you asked me to tell you whenever you did something that was a little unusual and like Nicky, and... Well, I have to say, I've never seen you put your feet up on the coffee table before.
Oh, Tina. Thank you.
This kid doesn't miss a trick.
Where would I be without you to catch Nicky creeping up on me?
You know, that's what I don't understand. I mean, when this happened to you before, you were either Vicky or you were Nicky, but when you were one or the other, you didn't have any recollection of, you know, mannerisms and...
Yes, I know. I know how it used to be, but I somehow feel that Nicky is not all gone this time. I feel that she's a part of me somehow, and I obviously just proved it by putting my feet, on the coffee table.
It's very strange.
Yes.
In fact, I wonder what Dr. Polk's going to say about all that.
I'm not really sure that I'm going to tell Dr. Polk, and I'm certainly not going to tell Clinton. I don't want you telling him either.
But, Vicky, I don't know if that's right, not telling...
No, I don't want to make him nervous. You know, if he gets nervous, he'll be hanging around the house and be watching and listening, and I mean, I don't want to put him through it.
Huh. Well, I guess. Maybe but you do have to tell Dr. Polk about, you know, these leftover feelings of...
Well, you know, Tina, I'm seriously doubting Dr. Polk as an expert, okay? I mean, I've switched back and forth from Vicky to Nicky, Vicky, the whole time he's been treating me, and if he were any good, that wouldn't have happened, would it? And he even sent me off to that sanitarium, didn't he? I mean, the thought of that man is giving me such a headache.
It's funny, I remember when the thought of me used to give you a headache. I mean, you get these splitting headaches, and it was all because of that pressure that was just building up inside you because you were going to split into Nicky.
Please, Tina, this conversation isn't really helping my headache at all. Let's not talk about the past, all right? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to get edgy with you. I'm sorry.
It's all right. You know, I have an idea. Why don't you go upstairs and lie down for a little bit? Then maybe you could get rid of the headache before Dr. Polk comes.
Oh, what a super idea. Thank you. I'll see you later.
Super.
Help, Aspirin, Delilah.
Giddy up! Pony Express!
You know, Kevin, I can't believe what a great rider you've turned out to be. And Joey, the last time I saw him get up on a horse, he started to cry.
Oh, Delilah, Joey's all over that. Matter of fact, the two of them are a couple of regular cowpokes. Ain't that right, son?
I think I'm ready to break one in.
Oh.
Well, I think.
You do, huh?
You know, breaking in a bronco, that's a very special talent. I haven't even tried that before.
Well, Grandpa will teach me, just like he taught me all the other stuff.
I think I'm going to save that for your dad. You know, your mom wouldn't talk to me if you broke any of these bones.
Wait till Mom sees us ride, huh?
Yeah, she's going to be so proud of you.
Then Mom's okay, we're going to be leaving, right?
Oh, no, yes, yeah, well, yes. I don't know how soon, though, but yes.
Well, see, I hope you're not lonely when me and Joey leave. Excuse me. Joey! Joey! I don't hear any noise. I better see what he's doing.
Is that something that he's heard before?
Uh-huh. Kevin's grown up a lot. It's like he saw a vacuum and moved in to fill it. Always make sure little Joey's okay, just like a parent.
That's sweet, but it's kind of sad, too, don't you think?
Yep. Going home. I almost dropped the phone when Clint called and said that Vicky does not want to see the boys right away.
What? He didn't mention that to me this morning.
It's true. She's nervous and about maybe Nicole Smith coming back. She wants to make sure that this is real, and I, for one, don't understand it.
You know, Vicky's a very proud woman, and if she doesn't want any visitors, I mean, including family, I can understand maybe that's her way to kind of hide out for a while.
Keeping her kids away from her, I don't get it. Anyway, with Kevin and Joey around, it would strengthen who she is, and the fact is, that lady's been away from those boys too long, and it's not right.
She could at least come by and visit them once a day, don't you think? I mean, she's got to be aware of how hard it is for them.
It's true. I said that to Clint. Clint said, Pa, let Vicky work it out for herself.
She must still be terrified of turning into Nicky, or else she would see her children.
Complicated life, Victoria Lord Buchanan.
Your family's too big, you got too many friends, and you did too much. Hey, why couldn't you just be a mother and a housewife? No, you got to be a publisher, a socialite. You're on every board in this whole town. And on top of it all, you're rich. Please, how am I supposed to live up to all of this, huh? If that Dr. Polk spots me for a phony, he's going to send me back to that sanitarium in 2 seconds flat. I've got to keep studying and checking up those diaries. I got to memorize her life completely. Oh, I'd like to watch TV, though. Oh, just for a minute. Let's get here. Whoa, what have we here? The Banner 50th Anniversary Party. Starring Vicki Buchanan, probably. Check this out.
Thank you. Good evening, friends, and welcome to the Banner's 50th anniversary celebration. I can't tell you how delighted we are to have you with us tonight, especially our guests up here on the dais. And I think that the person who would be most pleased by this distinguished gathering is the man whose portrait you will find in your souvenir program. A man who... And I think that the person who would be most pleased by this distinguished is the man whose portrait you will find in your souvenir program. A man who bought the Banner when it was bankrupt and about to cease publication, and who then built it into one of the most respected newspapers in this country today. And I think that the person who would be most pleased by this distinguished gathering is the man whose portrait you will find in your souvenir programs. A man who bought the Banner when it was bankrupt and about to cease publication, and who then built it into one of the most respected newspapers in this country today.
Newspapers in this country.
I'm speaking, of course, of my beloved father, the late Victor Lord.
Polk,
your souvenir
I didn't realize it was time for our appointment.
What do you want now? And I think you'll find them very, very interesting.
A movie on, but I put this in by mistake. It's the Banner's 50th anniversary banquet tape, and I got caught up watching myself.
Talking back to that's always fun.
Yes.
So, how are you feeling?
I have a headache. Other than that, I'm fine.
So why do you think you have a headache?
I can't be sure, actually. I did take an aspirin. I expect it'll go away. Actually, I was hoping that Tina would have stopped you from coming up.
Well, she did mention you weren't feeling well yet, but sometimes it's the best time to have a session. Perhaps we can work to your tension.
Well, do you find it strange that I'm tense, given all I've been through?
Oh, no, not at all, no. Let's talk about it. How was your reunion with your children?
This is how he's going to get me. I see it coming.
Victoria?
Dr. Polk, I was thinking that I really would feel better if we could do this another day.
Well, look, I know that many times our talks have been very painful, but I hope you don't consider me your adversary.
I think I ought to be just perfectly honest with you. I don't really see how you've affected my condition one way or the other.
Do you hold me responsible for your turning into Nicole Smith a month ago?
I don't hold you responsible for my sanity or my insanity. I just don't see that these sessions are accomplishing anything anymore, so I think it would be best if you would just go, please.
Well, you're very angry with me. I can see that. Let's talk about those angry feelings, all right?
I don't want to talk about anything with you, please. I mean, how rude do I have to be to get you to leave?
Well, Vicki, perhaps when your headache is over, You'll want to have a session. And I'll stop back by later.
Don't waste your time, please, or mine. Ooh, one aspirin. Yeah, the whole bottle full. Where does that woman stash anything? Ooh, what have we here? Victoria Lord Buchanan. Well, let's see how much you have in your checking account, dear. Holy cow!
Tina,
Yes, Dr. Polk.
very concerned about your sister.
Why? Because she has a headache?
No, because of her attitude. I don't understand her refusal to talk to me.
She didn't kick you out of there, did she?
More or less, yes. It certainly isn't the Victoria Buchanan that I once have known and have treated. You haven't found anything about her that alarms you, have you?
Well, all I know is she used to not like me and like you, and now she likes me and not you.
Tina, I don't begrudge your acceptance into this family by Vicky. I mean, she could have done that in the first place, and all this could have been avoided. But, however, you do have her confidence now, so I hope you'll help me in any way you can.
Oh, I'm not a nurse. I don't know anything about psychiatric treatment.
But you have ears. You have eyes. Yes, and all I want you to do is to watch Vicky, listen to her. Now, she's not ready to face life, and it concerns me. And it should concern you, too, if you love her.
Of course I love her. That's why I moved in here. I want to help her, which is more than I think you're doing. You probably made her feel like she was, I don't know, on the witness stand or something again.
You're not worried about that if she's truly her old self with her fire and confidence that she'll come under attack again now, are you?
No, I am not worried about that.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. Now, please do everything you can to get her to see me, because right now we're dealing with a very fragile Vicky Buchanan. I'll be back in a few hours, and I hope to have a real session with her.
I should stop over and pay a visit to Vicky.
I told you she refused to see me earlier, Asa.
I know, but I've been doing some thinking. Clint is at work. And she's in that big house over there with that Tina. Lord knows what's on her mind. And I hate the idea that Vicky's going to become a recluse.
Well, I could stop by and ask her if she liked the dress that I left.
Oh, any excuse. She's got to know that we really love her no matter what happened. See, I think she's hiding because she's ashamed.
Well, that could be, but I'll just stop by, not even call. How's that? Hopefully it'll work, okay?
Yeah, it's better, but it's not good enough. I can't let anybody at the bank question the signature. It's got to be exactly like Vicky's. I'll never get out of here. Oh, Tina.
Oh, how do you feel?
Oh, much better. Thank you. Once I got rid of Dr. Polk, I started to relax and my headache went away.
Well, I hate to have to tell you this, but I think he's planning on coming back.
Yes, I know. He mentioned that. Well, I won't be here.
Oh, well, where are you going?
Just to do some errands and get some shopping done. I'm starting to get a bit of cabin fever.
Oh, yeah, I think that's great that you're going out. Why don't we do it together? We could hit Le Elegant.
No, Tina, if you don't mind, I think I'd rather go alone today.
Oh, okay, sure. Ooh, this is pretty. Oh, you know, Cook wanted me to ask you about what you want to do about dinner.
Would you mind terribly handling that for me?
Oh, no. No, I don't mind at all.
Oh, thank you.
Vicky, if Clint calls, what should I tell him?
Oh, tell him I'll be back soon.
Okay.
I gotta get out of here and the sooner the better. Too many questions, too many nosy people. I gotta keep practicing, especially the speech. I just think of myself as royalty. I'll get away with it. Now, can you imagine somebody having this much dough lying around not spending it? Well, Vicky, I'll take care of that. And away we go.
Oh, Vicky! Oh, I was just about to knock. Oh, how are you?
Who on earth is this? Good to see you, too. I was just on my way out.
Oh, well, I won't keep you but a minute, but I just wanted to come by and see you with my own eyes. Vicky, I just feel so guilty that I wasn't here all summer long while you were going through this whole mess. But the most important thing is that you're well now and you're back with us again.
Oh, yes, and it's such a relief to be back.
I went riding with your children today.
Oh, how are my darling boys?
Well, they can't wait to come home.
Yes. We just have to hold off on that just a little bit longer, until I'm really sure of myself.
Well, you look great. You really do.
Thank you.
Did you get the dress that I left?
No dress?
Yeah, oh, it's in the box on the bed.
Oh, I didn't see that. Clint must have brought it up. My goodness.
Yeah, you like it.
Fashions by Delilah. They're your designs?
Yeah.
Oh, Delilah. Delilah. Oh, my goodness.
Why don't you try it on and see how it fits?
I would love to. I just don't have the time right this second. But I tell you what, we're going to get together real soon. It was so nice of you to stop by. And please give all my love to the boys, Kevin and Joe.
I'm very glad that Vicky decided to go out. She hasn't left the house since she got back from the hospital.
Tina, Vicky was very nervous. I don't know, it was almost as if she didn't even know who I was. She was so startled when she saw me.
That's just because she wasn't expecting you, that's all.
Well, maybe it's just my imagination, too. You see, Vicky used to be so nice to me that I'm sure she wasn't just hurrying me out to avoid spending time with me.
No, of course not. It's just that she's trying to adjust to all this. It's very hard for her. Look, I'm sure everything will be back to normal in a week.
And then she'll want the boys home with her. See, that's what Ace and I can't understand. Why? She loves those children so much. I don't know. Listen, I've got to go. It was good to see you again.
Yeah. Yeah, you too, Delilah.
You seen Vicky?
She went out a little while ago.
Where'd she go?
I don't know.
Tina? But where'd she go?
Look, all I know is Delilah came by for a visit, and then Vicky left right afterwards.
Oh, they went somewhere together?
No, Vicky drove off alone.
Where? You didn't ask where?
Look, I have no idea. I told you before, I am not her keeper. What's so unusual about her going out for a little bit?
She has an appointment here with Dr. Polk.
Well, then she'll be back.
Oh, will she really? She already refused one session with him today.
Well, he doesn't waste any time in reporting to you.
Well, he happens to be very concerned about this thing, and so am I.
Why? All she did was postpone a little meeting because she had a headache.
A headache, yeah. Yet she feels well enough to just drive off somewhere by herself. Is that it?
Look, I still don't see what you're so worried about.
Vicky knows how important these sessions are with Dr. Polk. Now, she has decided to avoid them for some reason, and I'd like to know what it is.
This is a great deal of money to withdraw in cash, Vicky.
Yeah. I'm aware of that.
Yes. Would you rather have a cashier's check for the same amount? It's much safer.
I prefer dealing in cash.
That's a little unusual for you, isn't it?
Is it? Oh, well, it's really none of your concern, is it?
My apologies. You're absolutely right. I just hate to see anything happen to you walking around with all these thousands.
Well, I can take perfectly good care of myself. Mr. Johnson.
Have I done something to offend you?
No, why?
We've been on a first-name basis for years, Vicky. All of a sudden, it's Mr. Johnson. Is everything all right?
Enough credit, Clint.
You have to admit, things haven't exactly worked out the way we wanted, the way we hoped.
Look, I know that. I mean, it would have been nice for all of us if Vicky'd come back to us as strong and wonderful as she always was, but that isn't the way it's worked out.
I know that. I know that. And I know that she needs time and she needs our support. But Dr. Polk is vital to her recovery. And if she's trying to avoid him for some reason, and that's why she left the house, I'd like to know it.
Why don't you talk to her about it, okay?
I'd be happy to if she were here.
But...
Well, he's not due here for a while. Maybe she'll show up in time.
Clint.
What?
I really do feel for you, all right? I know it has been a very long haul for you, and it must be hard to be patient about this. I'm sure that's why you jumped on me just a little while ago.
I just don't want you getting the idea that you can take over the household because you happen to move back in here, that's all.
Well, I apologized for that already. I mean, but you haven't been exactly fair to me either. You know, I'm here to help, not to be her watchdog.
All right, I won't expect that of you anymore. All right? You just keep something in mind.
Home.
Honey, where have you been? I thought you had a headache.
Oh, I did. But it disappeared. So I went to the Banner office.
You did?
Well, I wanted to surprise you and say hello to some of the staff. But then when I got there, well, I don't know, it was so busy and there were so many people running around, I thought maybe I'd try again another time.
Well, I'm happy you tried that today.
Well, I'm not. It just goes to prove that I'm not really ready to face everyone yet, and that's supposed to be such a major step in my recovery.
Well, don't be too rough on yourself. I'll take you back there tonight if you want. Be just the night crew and things will be a lot quieter.
Well, I could go along too if you thought it would help.
Well, why don't you give me some time to think about it, all right? Right now, I think I'd just like to go upstairs and, you know, have a nice hot bath, relax a little bit before dinner.
Well, let me take you out.
No. This is some correspondence that I wanted to take care of at the office. I'm sorry, it's so silly. I haven't answered my mail in so long, and I thought maybe I'll take it upstairs and I'll try and handle it after my bath.
Oh, you got some messages while you were gone.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, there's a call from Larry and Wanda. You know, people like that just want to come by and say hi now that you're home.
Oh. If anybody else calls, tell them I'm not up to visitors yet, please. Okay?
I don't understand this. She made an attempt to go down to the office today, and yet she won't talk to her closest friends.
Yeah, well, maybe she just needs to, you know, do all this on her own terms.
Larry is family.
I know, but everybody is expecting her to be just the same as she was, and that's not how she is. I mean, this is going to take time. Maybe she needs a whole lot of space, all the space we can give her.
Well, I just don't understand why Dr. Polk hasn't been able to make more progress than he has.
Well, maybe he can tell us after today's session.
Yeah. Well, no point in me hanging around here, I guess. I'm going to go down and get some things done at the Banner. I'll be back in time to see Dr. Polk. Will you make sure he waits for me? I want to talk to him. Some things about this situation that just don't add up.
Made it. Wanda? Larry? I mean, who are these people? Who needs them? Who cares? This is my one-way ticket out of this burg. Oh, where am I going to go? I could go to New York. I could go to California. I could go to Hawaii. Oh, doesn't matter. I can get on a plane to anywhere. As long as I get out of here and away from Clint, Dr. Polk, servants, and family estates. No more talking fancy and acting like a princess. No more of these uptight, ugly clothes. When I get where I want to go, I will buy what I want and I will act the way I want. to his precious banner. End of the line, cowboy. Good riddance. Oh, wait a minute. I don't got a lot of time. I gotta hurry. What are you doing in my bedroom?
I knocked twice, nobody answered, so I decided to come in here.
Is that a habit of yours?
No, but when you didn't answer, I was concerned, and then when I heard the tub, I decided to wait.
Without saying anything.
Can you blame me, Vicky? I was, speechless.
This is personal business.
But it has to be over $100,000 in there.
What'd you do? Count it?
No, I didn't count it, but you have to admit this is a little unusual.
Oh, thank you. To pretend you never saw that money.
Why, what is it you're hiding?
None of your business, all right?
Well, how does Clint feel about this?
Clint doesn't know, and I don't want you telling him either.
Vicky, what are you talking about? I am your sister. Please, why don't you tell me what's going on here? Maybe if I can help.
I told you, none of your business.
Boy, I have had it, you know what? I have just had it up to here. I am tired of being treated like an outsider around here. You know, not first by Clint, and then by Dr. Polk, and then by you.
Oh, calm down, will you?
No, I am not going to calm down. I mean, I don't need this, okay? You know, I come here to help, and what do I get? This is my thanks. Well, just forget it. I have had it. I am just going to go down. I'm going to pack all my things, and I am going to get out of here. I have really had it.
Wait, Tina. Wait, Tina. She'll never keep this to herself. She'll tell Clint. She might even call him at the banner instead of waiting till he gets home. You gotta do something now. Think, Nicky. Come on, think fast. Honey. Oh, I am so smart! Tina, wait.
No, there is no point in this, Vicky.
Yes, there is. We have to talk.
No, there is nothing to talk about. I certainly never thought I'd be doing this so soon, moving out of here.
Oh, Tina, for heaven's sake, put this suitcase down. Can't you see this is important? Come, we have to talk in here. Tina, now look. I know you came back to Landfair to help me. And you're right, it's because I begged you to. Well, I'm begging you again. Please don't go.
I'm sorry, Vicky, but under the circumstances, there was really
You're
no...
my sister, and I need your help. Look, I'm sorry if I made you feel that I was cutting you out of my life or made you feel that you were a stranger in this house, but it's for your own protection.
Vicky, what does this have to do with all that money that I saw upstairs?
I'm in terrible trouble. I don't want to drag you into this. It just seems so unfair because you've given so much of yourself already, but I couldn't bear the thought of you leaving without understanding.
What's going on here? Come on.
I don't know if I can bring myself to tell you. But swear to me that whatever you hear will never leave this room.
Of course, I swear. Now, what is going on?
Concerns Dr. Polk. And something that he did in the sanitarium when I was there as Nicky. Something he knows that I have absolutely no memory of. Oh, I can't bring myself to tell you. It's too awful. Here, read this. It's a note I got from somebody at the sanitarium.
Dr. Polk is having an affair with Nicky?
Read the rest.
What, someone is blackmailing you for $100,000?
And if I don't do exactly what they tell me to do, then they're going to tell Clint everything.
Well, who wrote this? Do you have any idea?
None. But it came from the sanitarium. I mean, it must have been somebody who worked there, a member of the staff, or an orderly, or obviously somebody who was in a position to know what was going on.
Wait, it says here that they're going to get in touch with you about where to deliver the money. Has that happened yet?
No, I'm waiting for a phone call any second. If Clint should be here when he comes, I wouldn't know what to do.
But wait a minute here. How can you believe this is for real? I mean, but how could you know?
Don't you?
What do you mean? This could be written by any crank who wants some easy money. It could be from Mitch.
But they say they have proof.
Well, they're probably just bluffing, that's it.
What if they really have proof? What if they showed Clint photographs?
Do you think that Nikki's really capable of this?
I don't know. I don't know, Nikki. Who's to say that she didn't seduce Dr. Polk?
But Dr. Polk is a very respected psychiatrist. I can't believe he'd just throw all that away for some quick little affair with Nikki.
I don't know what to think, but I can't take the chance. I know $100,000 is a lot of money, but I would spend every penny of it just to save Clint from hearing this.
No, Vicki, don't you see $100,000 could just be an installment? No, I think somebody's really trying to pull a number on you here. No, but I am going to get to the bottom of it. I promise you that.
Who are you calling?
I'm going to call Dr. Polk.
I still don't think it was very smart of you to call him.
Look, I just asked him to come by here a little earlier, that's all.
You're not going to show him the note.
No, I won't do that. I promise you that. It won't be necessary.
What are you going to do?
Look, I'd rather not say, okay? Not until I see if it works.
Oh, Tina.
No, please, believe me, this is the best thing to do.
I just think that you shouldn't involve yourself.
Well, you asked me to help you, didn't you?
Well, yes. I don't quite understand. I mean, what are you going to do? You're not just going to come straight out and ask him if he had an affair with Nikki.
No, of course I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do something much more subtle. Me, subtle, can you believe that? No, just please, just make sure you give me a few minutes alone with him, all right?
I don't think that's a good idea at all.
This is the best way to handle it without making an out-and-out accusation. Please, just trust me. Just go upstairs so I have a little time alone with him. I don't want any witnesses.
His car. Boy, he got here fast. Betty's down the line with the Tina. I know she said she wasn't going to say anything about the note, but I was exhausted.
Hello, Tina.
Oh, Dr. Polk.
Where's Vicky?
Oh, she's upstairs taking a nap.
She knew I was coming. Look, did you talk to her as I asked?
Yes.
She is doing everything possible to avoid these sessions. Something is wrong. And I don't know what it is.
Well, I'll make sure she's ready to talk to you soon. In the meantime, I asked you to come here early so we could talk about something rather personal.
You mean about your relationship with Vicky?
Well, yes. You see, Doctor, I'm just not so sure it was such a good idea for me to move back into Landfair.
Well, that depends on how you're getting on together.
Well, we're getting along well enough, I guess, as well as things can be expected. I mean, she is the only family I really have, the only one that's ever cared for me or loved me.
No, I don't see what all this is. Now, Tina, what are you doing?
Oh, shh, just to help me, all right? Dr. Polk, I can't help but notice how strong and wise you are. And you know, I just can't help but feel that I wish sometimes when you came by here that you just had a little time to spend with me. I think that strength and sensitivity are a very attractive trait on a man. And I have to say, when I saw you at the trial and you were so strong and gentle and understanding.
Tina, would you call Vicky for a session?
Yes, I will call for your session. But first, I want to talk to you. I think it's very important for me to talk to you about my relationship with Vicky. And as long as you're here and we're all alone, aren't you the least bit attracted to me?
Tina! What the hell are you trying to pull now?
Luke and I were just talking.
Just talking? You're doing a hell of a lot more than just talking.
All right, maybe I was flirting with him a little, all right?
Look, I asked you before. What were you trying to do, Tina?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Now, would the two of you just try and loosen up a little?
My guess is that it's a very specific motive. Now, if it has anything to do with Vicky, one of my patients, I want to know what it is.
Start talking.
There is nothing to say.
Oh, that's very interesting. I catch you trying to seduce my wife's doctor, and you turn around and tell me there's nothing to say?
Dr. Polk.
Testing me?
Look, don't ask me any more about this, okay?
Are you saying you were trying to find out what would happen if a woman made advances to me?
That's right.
Why?
Look, can we just drop the whole thing? Look, I am sorry if I inconvenienced you. I didn't mean to embarrass you, Dr. Polk. I really didn't.
We're not going anywhere till you give us a full explanation.
What?
Now, how did all this start, Tina?
It was a letter. Actually, a note.
What kind of note? Who wrote it?
Look, don't jump to any conclusions. It wasn't Nicky.
Then who?
I don't know. It was somebody at Mountain View.
The sanitarium?
A patient?
I don't know. It could have been somebody who worked there. I have no idea.
Was the note addressed to you?
No, it was addressed to Vicky. Somebody is trying to blackmail her.
What? For what? What in the world could anybody have on Vicky?
Look, you just remember that I didn't want to talk to you about this.
Look, stop stalling. I want to know.
The note said that this person found out that Vicky, I should say Nicky, was having an affair with Dr. Polk. And they said that if they were not paid a certain amount of money, they were going to make it public knowledge.
Do you believe that, Clint? It's an absolute lie.
When did Vicky get this note?
I don't know. I have no idea. She didn't tell me, but that's why she didn't want to see you, Doctor. She felt strange about seeing you. Now, you can understand what I was trying to do. I was trying to see if you were that kind of man. If some woman came on to you...
Why didn't you tell me about this?
Because I was trying to spare you.
You should have told me. She's my wife, remember?
Even with me, you weren't telling the truth.
Where did you get a harebrained idea like this to pull a stunt like this?
Hold it, Clint. Now, the first priority is Vicky. She's upstairs and we're going to talk to her.
You stay put. You and I aren't finished yet.
Oh, this is just great. This is wonderful. I'm at fault again. Is that it? You know, I try to help out here, and all I do is take abuse. I don't know how much more of this I can take.
Vicky, Dr. Polk's here. We'd like to see you.
Oh, she must have told him about the note.
Honey, you there?
Oh, I'm going to be in section.
Yes. Come in. Oh, I'm sorry. I was just taking a nap.
Oh, sorry to disturb you.
It's all right. I think it was time I was getting up anyway. Did you want to see me about something?
The note, sweetheart. Is somebody trying to blackmail you?
It seems that way.
Someone at Mountain View?
Well, that's what I figured, yes.
And you received a note from this person? Is that why you didn't want a session today?
Oh, Dr. Polk. I couldn't face you. I'm sorry. I didn't want Tina to tell you anything about this. It was just so hard for me to take. It's not true, is it? You and me?
Absolutely not. How can you think that?
Oh, thank God. I didn't think it was, but I couldn't be sure since I didn't know what happened at Mountain View. What did Tina tell you?
That you received a note threatening to expose you and Dr. Polk unless you paid up.
Oh. Is that all?
There's more?
No, not really.
Tina didn't tell him about the money. Okay, kid, I owe you one for that.
May I see the note?
Don't you believe me?
Well, look, I might recognize the stationery or the handwriting. Know whether it's a patient or a staff member at Mountain View.
I feel so stupid. I ripped the whole note in the envelope to shreds. I got so angry when I read. You know, I threw it in the wastebasket downstairs. Maybe the pieces are still there. I could look for you. Oh, but of course it wouldn't do you any good. You wouldn't be able to tell anything because it was all written in that baby writing, you know, printing.
Did the person tell you how you could reach them?
No. Maybe I'll get another note.
Yes. Let us know if you do.
Dr. Polk, you're absolutely sure that
You and I wouldn't never...
Victoria, I told you absolutely not.
I just needed some reassurance. Clint, you believe Dr. Polk, don't you?
Of course I do.
Then I have nothing to worry about.
Now, Vicky, you're not to give in to this blackmail in any way. Do you understand?
Oh, of course. I mean, I wouldn't dream of following through on it. Now that I know. Oh, I'm so tired.
Doctor, I think maybe we should wait until tomorrow for the therapy session.
Oh, I think that would be better if you wouldn't mind if you have any free time tomorrow.
I'll have my office full.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Clint, thank you for understanding.
Hey, this guy really does understand. It's not half bad. Things are a little different.
I won't keep you any longer.
Thank you.
I'll see you to the door, Doctor.
And Vicky, thank you. I'll definitely see you tomorrow.
Yes. Thank you. Figure out how to get out of here with the money.
Why is that, Vicky?
Because it's a lie, and we both know it.
Well, why should you be so concerned?
Well, we've known each other all these years. We've been close, and now something has come between us.
I don't think you're convinced that there is no truth in that note. You don't trust the actions of Nikki. She might do anything. I beg your pardon?
I said it's embarrassing. This note has changed our relationship.
Oh, it isn't true.
But I feel different.
Well, yes, it's important how you feel, yes. I mean, I want you to be comfortable. If we're going to work well together, yes, you have to be relaxed. You have to trust me.
I trust you.
I don't think you do. And until you do, I see no point in continuing our sessions. I think perhaps that you think that I did take advantage of you as Nicole at the sanitarium while you were a patient.
I don't know. Yes, perhaps that is it.
Well, Vicky, I think the best thing for you to do is to seek out a new therapist. I'll tell Clint. I'm sure he'll understand.
Dr. Polk, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
Oh, no. I quite understand. Goodbye, Vicky. Good luck. Clint, there is no other alternative.
Yes, there is. You can talk to her. You can listen to her. You can show her that she can trust you.
Well, that's what I've been trying to do. Upstairs just now, Vicky talked. I listened. But there was no give and take, no real communication.
All right, maybe not this time. Next time, maybe. Next time.
It can't be the next time. Vicky simply doesn't trust me anymore.
I don't believe that. When we explained to her that you did not seduce Nicole Smith or try to, she seemed to understand it.
Yes, she said she did, but in our session, I knew there were still doubts. And without her trust, I can't possibly help.
You have already helped her. You've already helped her. To quit now is just taking a step backward.
Clint, I'll recommend another therapist.
I do not want another therapist. You know Vicky. You know what she needs. I will not let you give up on her now.
Not giving up on Vicky. I'm trying to do my best to help her.
How, by turning your back on her?
No, that's not the way Vicky felt. We discussed it.
You mean she asked you to step aside?
No, she didn't. But, Clint, I do really know how she really feels. You see, there's doubt. She even has a fear of me.
It's all because of that damn blackmail note. If we could only convince her...
The damage has already been done. Someone has tried to undermine Vicky's confidence in me. they've succeeded.
Well, it's all a lie, Doctor. Now, we can't just let her go on believing that you seduced Nicky Smith. There's no truth to it.
You know, Clint, you're used to winning. I admire that. But some things are not a matter of winning or losing.
All right, so, I can't say or do anything that'll change your mind, huh? I don't know what we're going to do without you, Doc.
Well, I'm only a phone call away. If Vicky should want to see me again.
Well, I'm sure she will. Maybe when this shock of that note fades away.
In the meantime, I'll try to find out who wrote the note and why.
Well, we know that it came from someone up at the Mountain View Sanitarium.
Yeah, that's a start. Look, if another note arrives, ignore the money demands, of course, and call me immediately.
What about the police?
Well, in Vicky's delicate state of mind, I think a police investigation could do more harm than good. You see, whoever wrote that note needs help. Clinical help, not punishment.
Oh, Dr. Polk. I thought you were having a session with Vicky.
Well, we did, and it's finished. Quite finished. We'll be in touch, Clint.
All right, thanks, Doc. I can't tell you how much I appreciate everything you've done.
Well, there's still a lot to be done by all of us. Goodbye, Clint.
Thanks,
Tina.
Bye, Dr. Polk. Well, I hope I didn't interrupt anything.
No, we said everything that had to be said.
Good, because I have something to say to you.
Yeah, well, do you mind just putting it on hold for a while? This has been a real heavy day for me.
No, I can't put this on hold for a while. I've thought about this a long time, and there's something I have to tell you no matter what Vicky wants.
What Vicky wants? What are you talking about?
Talking about her briefcase. Look, you have a right to know about this. She has a briefcase filled with money. There must be over $100,000 in there. She has it up in her room. Look, you know what she's doing with it, don't you? She took it out of the bank because she wants to pay off the blackmailer.
Stand still and let her give in to some blackmail threat?
Look, that's not the way to deal with this. You have to try to understand how she feels.
Understand? What do you mean, understand? I invented the word. It's about time somebody starts understanding how I feel, the things that are going on around here.
Clint, please. I do understand how she feels, all right?
How would you understand? How would you know anything about what's going on with her?
Mitch Lawrence. Don't you remember he sent her those notes before that were supposed to be from Nicky Smith? The ones that were supposed to drive her insane?
What's the connection?
Well, all of a sudden she gets more notes from some other anonymous person, and all of a sudden it's another deep, dark secret that's going to ruin her entire life again.
The note is a lie.
Look, I know that. You know that, but Vicky doesn't. She's so afraid she's going to turn into Nicky again and that she's going to lose
I
you.
have tried to tell her there is no chance of that.
I know, I have tried. You've tried. Everybody has tried, but she is so scared. I mean, she lives with that fear all the time that she's going to become Nicky, and if you run up there and tell her that I told you about the money, anything could happen.
So what am I supposed to do? What do you think I should do? Just tiptoe around this place? Huh? Be afraid to disagree or get angry because she might turn into Nicky Smith again?
She's not strong enough to fight back. Just give her a little time. That's what she needs.
What about what I need?
I thought you needed her. Look, Clint, you do whatever you want, all right? You're going to do that anyways. But don't lecture her. Just try to show her that you love her. I mean, that's what she needs right now.
And I used to call you a dizzy blonde.
Yeah, well, I've been called a lot worse.
Matter of fact, I've called you worse things myself. Maybe I was wrong. Tina, wait a minute. I just want you to know that I think I've probably seen a side to you that I've never seen before.
Well, I do really care about my sister, even if people find that a little difficult to understand.
Maybe I'm beginning to.
What does that mean, that I can start putting my 2 cents in around here?
Well, it means that I think I'll try your advice and see if I can't be a little more patient. I think that I have been pushing Vicky too hard and too fast, too soon.
You know what I'd like?
What?
I'd like when Vicky and I start to get to be real sisters that maybe, just maybe, you and I could be friends.
Well, that would be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I would.
Excuse me, Mr. Buchanan, but Miss Lord has a visitor. Mr. Clay Monroe.
So, since I refuse to resign, you are simply going to suspend me. If I refuse to be suspended, what are you going to do? Take me out and shoot me?
Dorian, I'm sorry. It has to be this way.
I was nearly killed while reporting a story. Doesn't that kind of journalistic valor count for anything with the board of directors?
You were almost killed because of a rumor, with no basis in fact, which is the heart of the matter. It is called journalistic integrity versus grandstand rating games.
If it were not for me, the ratings of this station would be down the toilet. And they will be, believe me, if I go. There's no way to fight this, is there?
I'm sorry. We think it's for the best.
Very well. Very well, I guess I will have to give in to you. But I do have one last simple request.
Very cynical guy, David Rinaldi.
Well, Brad, you do have a history of some shady dealings. I didn't want to trust you in the beginning either.
Well, I think I convinced him that I'm not planning to run away with you and then turn him into the authorities.
How'd you do that?
By pointing out how quickly you would leave me if I did. So I think everybody's in sync now.
Okay, well, as predicted, Larry didn't buy my story about us getting married, but I convinced him to keep it to himself and hopefully he won't pressure me about it.
All right, good. Now, we just have to convince everybody else that this wedding is for real, because if we don't, they're going to become very suspicious, and that could lead Herb and Ed to asking a lot of questions.
Boy, that Vicky really loved that cowboy she's married to. Personally, I don't understand it, but maybe I should be a little more affectionate with him. God, I hope I don't have to gag when they do it.
Today I hired Dan Wolek as a cub reporter at the Banner. Such an eager, enthusiastic young man. Wolek, Dan Wolek. I wonder if he's related to that, Dr. Wolek. Larry is so excited, Dan decided to join the Lord profession. Must be the son.
Yes, come in.
Hello, darling.
Clint, I thought you were Tina. Did you give her the message that I wanted to talk to her?
Oh, honey, I'm afraid I forgot.
Oh.
She's downstairs with a friend.
Who?
Clay Monroe. You know, the movie producer.
Oh.
Hey, there's something I want to talk to you about.
Uh-oh. Is something wrong?
I just don't understand why you didn't tell me about that patient of Dr. Polk's who's trying to blackmail you. And I don't understand why you would actually take money out of the bank to pay him off.
Thanks a lot, Tina.
Now, you're probably annoyed that Tina told me, but I'm more or less forced to know.
Annoyed, try furious.
But honey, why didn't you just tell me about it in the first place?
I'm sorry, I guess I should have.
You guess you should have, honey? You damn sure should have.
I don't know why you're so mad about it.
You don't? Well, let me tell you. I can't help but remember that you tried to keep your illness away from me, too. But when you found out that I still loved you, despite your dual personality problem, I didn't think that you would ever again be afraid to share your problems with me.
Oh, what do you know? Vicky's not perfect after all.
It was wrong of me, I know.
I just don't understand what made you do it.
Well, I didn't want to worry you, that's all. I mean, you've done nothing but worry about me for so long now.
What worry? I would simply have gone to Dr. Polk and we would have thrashed it out.
But Clint, I don't really know what Nicky does, do I? I mean, what if it had been true? How could I have put you through that?
Sweetheart, look. How many times have I told you? How many times have I told you that even if you and Harry O'Neill were lovers while you were Nicky Smith, I could live with it. I could live with it. I still don't believe that Nicky Smith was the kind of lady who would sleep with a psychiatrist, and I don't believe that Dr. Polk would sleep with one of his patients. So your fears were groundless.
Well, again, I'm sorry. I guess I just rushed to the bank in a panic and took the money out.
Where is the money? What'd you do with it?
Great. I get my hands on enough money to escape, and now I gotta give it back. It's here.
Well, I'm glad that you didn't have time to turn it over to whoever the crackpot was that sent you that note.
If it was indeed a crackpot, Clint, I still don't really trust Dr. Polk. I hope you understand that.
Honey, I am hoping that with time, that fear will go away. Yes?
Excuse me. Dr. Larry Wolek is waiting downstairs. He says he'd love to see you, ma'am.
Peg, would you ask him to wait a minute, please?
Yes.
Clint, I'm not up to company.
Honey, you have been rejecting Larry's attempts to visit with you ever since you came home. Now, if you just see him for a few minutes, it'll make him feel better and make me feel better. It makes me nervous that you want to hide out here in your room.
All right, I'll see him. You're right, it's not fair to Larry at all. Let me just brush my hair for a second, all right?
Thank you.
Screen test around here every 5 seconds. How am I going to get out of here with the money?
Well, we still haven't come up with a plan about what we're going to do after the wedding.
Well, we have. You just don't know what it is. We are sailing away on our honeymoon, my dear, on the Crown Yacht.
Why the yacht?
Because it's bigger than a rowboat, and it fits all the requirements, including the fact that Rob and Cassie will be in on the plan with us.
Oh, great. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they can have the fuel and service ready to go, and they can pick up supplies so we don't have to stop on the way. Now, this is what I envision. David will slip on board before the ceremony dressed as a captain. After the ceremony, we'll slip on board and we'll set off for the North Carolina coast. That's where I get off.
And what are you going to do? Where are you going to go?
I don't know. But you guys can sail on to whatever port you wish. We'll send the yacht back to Landview. How's that sound?
It sounds great, but I am worried about you. What are you going to do? Where are you going to go? I'm concerned about you. Are you willing to give up all of this for us?
For you, yes, I'm willing. As a matter of fact, I'm looking forward to it. You know, Brad Vernon has not been my favorite character for a long time now, and I'll be glad to get rid of him. Made a lot of big mistakes, hurt a lot of people. I don't think the world will be any worse off if he no longer exists.
I never thought he was all that bad. I just thought he kept a lid on his good qualities.
Hey, starting over is the best thing that could happen to me. And if I can't be with you, at least you'll have my name, right? You will be Mrs. Brad Vernon for the rest of your life. Hey, come on. None of this mushy stuff. We got a lot to do. Let's move.
I should go by Vicky and Clint's. Tell them about our plans to get married. Might as well tackle the hardest skeptics first.
Right. I'll see if I can find Rob and Cass, and we'll make arrangements for borrowing the yacht for our getaway.
What request would that be, Dawn?
I don't think it's fair for me just to disappear from the airwaves. It's certainly not fair to my loyal viewers. I do, after all, have one of the most popular local shows.
True. What would you tell them?
I'm not exactly sure, but I would say something to the effect that I decided it was time to move on, try other things, and that I've enjoyed the past few years doing the show, and that I hope that they'll continue watching the show even when there is a new but wonderful host. A simple, upbeat little speech.
Well, that's wonderful. I'm relieved. I must admit, I thought we'd have to carry you out of the studio, kicking and screaming.
Oh, come on now. Surely you know me better than that.
Well, thank you for your cooperation and your reasonableness. When will you make your announcement?
think it should happen during the news, which is going on right at this very moment. There's a very dull segment that's going to end the show. Our illustrious mayor is doing another one of his self-serving press conferences. Oh, why don't we just ditch that for me? All right? In fact, if you excuse me, I will go and prepare my little speech. Jim? Jim?
Yes, I'm right here, Doreen.
Jim, we are going to cut away from the news to me here on this set. I'm going to be making a statement. Perhaps the most important statement of my life.
Well, here you go.
Tex, do you know my husband? Have you met?
No, I've never met formally.
Well, Tex, Rob Chronological.
I know who this is. But I heard about you, Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, see, that guy's weird.
Well, maybe so, but he did save David's life twice, and if I can talk to him, maybe he can do it again.
There's supposed to be a pretty big turnout over at Lord Manning for the election. I hope people aren't showing up to vote against me so that I lose.
Do you love the face of this woman, please?
Arrogance of Didi O'Neill.
Well, I just don't want to be overly optimistic. I mean, I'm a little premature to make an acceptance speech, and I don't want to burst into tears when I find out that I lost.
If you do, I'll spank you.
It makes two of us.
Can I cry if I win?
Well, sure. I think old man Jack Simmons is going to cry when you win. When?
One,
Yes.
2 cups of coffee to go, please.
2 coffee coming up?
Didi, are you hiding out here or what?
Well, sort of, yeah, I am.
Jack's over the plan. He's still shaking hands and kissing babies.
That's because he's running scared. Well, from what I hear, you'll be running things before the day's out. I sure hope so anyway.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet of you to say that. Thanks.
We're just voting on merit, Didi. We share your vision, yours and your dad's.
Here you go, fellas. Okay. No. It is on the House because you two have the brains, the intelligence to vote for the House favorite. Don't tell the other 200 people, though, that are going to vote for her about this.
Thanks,
Wanda.
Thanks, you guys.
See that? How do you feel now?
Well, I think if this keeps up, I might burst into tears right here.
Oh, there you go. Here's your hamburger.
Thanks.
How's it going?
Listen, Van, there was a real estate agent up at Timberdog the other day. He almost caught David and me there. What are we going to do? He said that they only have a week left before they rent it out again.
And meanwhile, nobody knows where Aida York is. She could be hanging around.
David needs a new identity, and so does Jenny for that matter. What are we going to do?
I can give them a disguise. I can't give them an identity. And I cannot help them leave Landview. Remember, I'm hiding out here myself.
Come on, Van. You're brilliant. I'm sure you can figure out something.
No. Why don't we turn the news on and check to see if there's a spot about the election, huh?
Well, yes, if WVLE is back on the air.
What do you mean back on the air?
Well, I had Doreen's program on before, and then suddenly everything went black, and it stayed that way for a very long time, till finally I turned it off.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to end our regularly scheduled news program with a word from our president and general manager, Dorian Lord.
Cassie, your mother's going to make an announcement.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As you heard on the news a little while ago, WVLE was the victim of sabotage, which is why we so suddenly disappeared from the airwaves. There was, however, even more drama, which you may have missed since we went to black. A cable that held a light that was directly over my head was cut. And if it were not for my guest, Michael James Woodward, I would now be in the hospital. Captain Ed Hall of the Landview Police Department came to investigate, and we can all now only assume that this near tragedy was the result of my having announced that we were privy to the information that someone in Landview is selling weapons to enemy terrorists. Captain Hall will continue the investigation of this accident. It would be inappropriate for me to comment on the case any further. However, I do believe that my audience has a right to know the direct result of this. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been fired. Yes, this will be my last appearance on WVLE.
in spite of the fact that I am a majority stockholder in this station, through certain bylaws in the corporation, I have been fired. I will no longer be part of the administration. The board has seen fit to remove me because I was courageous enough to speak up about gun running in this city. Personally, I don't think it's fair. In fact, I think it's a very sad commentary. What do you think? Those of you who have enjoyed my program in past years, who've applauded me for tackling the really tough issues, do you think it's fair? Or do you agree with me?
Aida, I'm imploring you to get out of the country with me.
You may run if you wish. I never will.
But our mission is accomplished here.
So you think. I do not.
They want us home, Aida. You'll be defying them if you don't go.
They will hand me a medal when I return with David Rinaldi's heart. A heart that is beating somewhere at this moment.
You're obsessed with him, even in death.
No, he isn't. Every instinct in me rages that he's not dead. I know him too well. I also know the love that woman had for him. Somewhere, somehow, they engineered a plan to make us believe that he'd been killed. When I heard his body had disappeared from the
An unusual situation, I'll grant you. But the NSB...
No, it wasn't the NSB. It would never be headline news if it was the NSB. So, if it wasn't us...
Someone outside the situation. Sick mind.
Your naivety is charming, Dennis, but misguided. I would stake my life that David Rinaldi is still alive.
Which is exactly what you're doing. It's too dangerous for you to stay here alone.
As I said, you'll know you were wrong when I return with his heart in a bottle.
If you believe in me, if you believe in this station, and you want it to be run the way it has been, I am asking you to pick up pen and paper and write to the WVLE Board of Directors. You can address your remarks to Mr. Martin Kelly, the chairman of the board, and the man who handed me my notice just moments before I went back on the air.
Get
Within
her
a month,
off the
perhaps we
air.
can replace the entire board of
Don't want to
directors.
go to black
They are
again,
nothing
Mr.
but a
Kelly.
bunch
Then
of
cut away.
ambitious, egomaniacal businessmen.
No, sir.
They most certainly are
to
not
fire me, too.
journalists. Lastly, I want to thank all of you. You have been a loyal and wonderful audience to me. Right now, my future, I myself am at your mercy. You can change things around. You can turn them back again by using the phone. Pick it up, call, express your outrage. With your help, perhaps I can triumph. Until then, I'm afraid this is going to be my last broadcast on WVLE. But hopefully, I will once again be back on the air. In the meantime, this is Dorian Lord saying goodbye and thank you.
Go to commercial. Dory, you lied to me.
I have been playing with the big boys for a long time. Did you really think I was just going to lie back and take it?
Poor mother, how could someone like this happen to her? Sweetheart, life goes in cycles, and your mother's been on a roll for quite some time now.
Yes, but this is completely unfair, Wanda.
Yeah, but Cassie, from what I understand about your mother, she's a real scrapper. She's not going to stay down long.
Yeah, believe me, underneath those kid gloves, there's a pair of brass knuckles.
So I can take some lessons from her, I'll tell you.
Yeah, and quickly, because I don't think Jack Simmons is going to be a good loser.
The station to see her.
Okay, fine, I'll drive you over. Come on.
You know what, Rob, I think I should go by myself. I think that if she's hurt, she's going to cover it up if somebody else is there.
Okay, fine.
Just take my car. I won't be gone long.
Hey, Rob, Cassie, I was looking for you guys in a yacht. Can we talk?
Well, I was just about to leave, Brad.
Well, not quite yet. Please, it's about your father, David. Let's sit down, okay? I know that he's alive and hiding out at Timber Dock.
How did you find that out?
I followed Jenny. She said and did some things that were out of character. It made me suspicious that he was still alive.
So what are you after? Blackmail?
That hurts. Cassie, have I ever done anything to you? I don't think so, so could you cut the cracks and listen? Because I think I've come up with a way to get David and Jenny safely out of town.
Tex.
Yes.
Tex, I'm afraid that I don't think your hand is healing properly.
Oh, that's very nice of you to worry about it, Miss Warner, but it's coming along fine, thank you.
I think that you should do yourself a favor and you should go see my brother-in-law, Larry Wolek.
He's a doctor, isn't he?
Yes, he is. He's the best. He's chief of staff at Landview Hospital, and he could recommend a specialist for you.
Well, I'll tell you, don't you worry about it. If it's not fine in a couple of days, then I'll go and see him, okay?
Good. Then you could do twice as much around here.
Now I get it. Smart lady.
That's a very interesting plan, Brad.
I can't believe you do it for them.
It's because I love Jenny and I want her to be happy even if it's not with me, and I don't want her to be killed trying some other harebrained scheme. So David's agreed to this? With a little persuasion, yes. Now here's the hard part. This has to look real. So I need you two to help convince any doubters that Jenny and I are really in love again. And you're going to be best man, and you're going to be matron of honor.
Okay. Well, could you give the rest of the details to Rob? I have to go and see my mom. I'm really worried about her.
Not one parent, it's another.
Brad, I'm sorry that I said that to her. I didn't mean it.
Thank you. It's all right. See you. So, you see any holes in this scam I haven't thought of?
So I read the note Dan left, and I got to tell you, it destroyed me. But nothing I can do about that until he calls and we can talk. That must have been quite a shock to you when he told you that he was going to be running around the country and with some girl that you hardly know. You better believe it. I mean, I knew he was interested in Annie. I just didn't think it was that serious. Annie is this. I don't think you've met her, Vicki, if you're trying to place her.
Oh, I was wondering.
Not that I ever met your son, either.
You know, Larry, Dan has a lot of common sense. I mean, when I put him on staff at the Banner, I instinctively knew he was a journalist.
Probably inherited some of those lower genes, sweetheart. Don't know.
Anyway, this is not necessarily final, is it? He'll probably be back in a few weeks, and he'll, want to go back to school then. I mean, a lot of the kids take some time off before they enroll.
This is the second time he's dropped out, remember that?
Yes, that's right. Of course it is. It probably means he's not ready yet.
Well, all this was because you were so kind as to ask how's Danny. I told you, I monopolized the whole conversation. Vicki, how are you doing?
Oh, well, I'm a little shaky. It's hard to explain, but one of the reasons that I have not wanted to see people is because I find it very difficult to be social and to keep up my end of the conversation. It's so tiring,
Excuse me. Mrs. Buchanan, Jenny Rinaldi is here to see you.
Oh, Jenny. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, please, have her come in.
Very well.
Jenny!
Hello, Clint.
You've been a real stranger around here.
I'm sorry. A lot of things have happened to all of us. Two best friends. I'm in real trouble. You gonna say hello?
Yeah, I was just waiting for the rush to clear out. How you doing?
Okay. Did you mention to Vicki and Clint my plans?
No, I didn't. I wasn't sure that you hadn't changed them.
I'd like to share some wonderful news with you. I've decided to marry again. Guess who the lucky guy is? Brad.
Brad?
Oh! Well, Jenny, that's wonderful. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you.
What did I do now?
One Life to Live will continue in a moment.
Ooh, I really said the wrong thing this time. Well, go for broke, kid.
Why all the long faces? Jenny deserves better than that. I think this is the time when we should do everything we can to make things happy for her.
Well, thank you very much. This is an unexpected reaction. I thought you might be upset.
You know, Jenny, of all my experiences, I learned something. That I should never judge other people. I mean, you're a
a grown-up, adult person, right? You can make your own decisions.
Honey, what about their past history together? I mean, the way Brad has treated Jenny.
Well, I can only assume she thinks he's changed, right?
He has. He has, and well, you're the first person to recognize that.
What about your feelings for David?
David is dead, Clint.
I know that. But I mean, I know you were very much in love with him, and it just seems you might be going through a little bit of a grief, some mourning, not planning a new marriage.
Well, for me, David died several months ago, and I did my grieving then. Brad has been very loving and very supportive, and he was a big part of my life for a very long time. I think we can make a go of it.
Well, I'm just so happy for you. When are you getting married?
Hopefully tomorrow.
Oh, well, let's have the wedding here.
Listen, I'm gonna get back to the hospital. You have to see me. I'll talk to you later, Jen. Vicki, you really do look wonderful.
Thank you, Larry.
Larry, thanks for coming by. I take it he's not all that thrilled with your plans.
Larry's always been very protective. Anyway, I can't tell you what this means to me. Your reaction was an unexpected blessing, and we would just love to have the wedding here.
Good. We need a party to liven things up around here.
Well, I've got a million things to do. I should get going. I'll call you later, and we'll go over the details.
Oh, don't worry. We'll take care of everything.
Oh, Vicki. Come on. Thank you. Clint, I am making the right decision. I wish you'd spread the word.
Okay. You tell Brad if he pulls anything this time, I'll be stopping by to have a little chat with him. Maybe that'll keep him in line.
I'll pass that along. Thank you both very much.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. You never cease to amaze me.
Why?
Well, because you jump in and you're ready to defend and support Jenny at a moment's notice. Then you plan to throw her a party even though you are shying away from people.
Well, Jenny's been very good to me. I have to be happy for her now.
I'm also very surprised that you think that Brad has changed. I mean, I haven't seen any signs of it. Anyway, since we have so many friends in common with Jenny, it'll be like a coming out party for you and a reception for her. I mean, there must be 50 people who want to see you.
What did I do? How am I going to get out of this?
Yeah, I do have a problem with it, a big problem. I don't own the yacht anymore, Brad. Bo Buchanan does.
Yeah, but he left you responsible for it while he's away, right?
Yeah.
So Jenny asked if we could borrow it, and you didn't have it in your heart to say no.
I don't know. That just sounds very shaky.
We don't have time to call him and explain. You're going to have to handle it, that's all.
Okay. There's no choice between David's life and good manners anyways, right?
Exactly. Now I got to see if I can get up enough nerve to tell Wanda the terrific news. He'd be ready to catch her when she faints, all right?
All right.
Dorian, listen, I want you to know that if I thought it would do any good, if they get the point, I'd quit myself just to show them what kind of support you have here.
Thank you, Jim. But it's bad enough one of us isn't working.
You'll be back within a week.
Who says in a week I'm going to want this stinking job?
Excuse me, Mom. I'm sorry. I heard the
Cassie.
broadcast. Oh, honey. Is there anything that I could do?
You've already done it. Dropping everything to come and see me.
Oh, honey.
I'm sorry, honey.
What are you sorry for? You have every right to cry.
I'm the mother. I'm supposed to stay in control.
Oh.
You're the daughter. It's okay if you cry.
Mom, you have been very brave through this whole thing. I'm surprised that you haven't collapsed. The nerve of that board to do this to you.
No, honey. It's Tina who is doing this to me. You think a jury would let me off if I wrung her filthy little neck?
Were you serious about somebody trying to kill you?
Either that, or the cable cut itself. Yeah. I think that I stepped on somebody's toes. Oh, it's just as well.
know how much you love this place.
I sure did love running this studio. I loved doing the show. Yeah. I'm gonna miss all this. You know what I'm really going to miss right now? I'm gonna miss the salary. I think it might come in handy for paying little incidentals like the maintenance on the apartment, the gas and electric bill.
Wait a minute, I thought your major assets were frozen, but that you had other sufficient...
My major assets are frozen, my minor assets, my safe deposit boxes. I'm broke.
But how?
Because of my stupidity. Because I panicked. I sold jewelry to make an enormous investment in the stock market, and I lost it all. I'm poor.
Excuse me, everybody. I have an announcement to make. Everybody ready for some good news?
What? Is it about the election? About Dee Dee, huh? No, Pete, sorry, it's not the election. But I did win.
Oh, I thought that the job of town dog catcher was filled already.
I tell you. Well, I know I'm going to miss your smiling face and your sense of humor. But no, it's a different kind of position.
Well, what is it? You're building the suspense here.
I'm getting married.
Bradley, excuse me, but I don't know anything about your current love life, but I didn't think that you were going out with anybody since Connie left town.
No, it's not Connie. She would have written me about it.
No, right, Dee Dee, I'm afraid your sister and I were something of a mistake. You remember how jealous she used to get? Well, I'm afraid there was something to that.
No stuff.
Yeah, not because I was running around with any other women. It's just that she knew I could never quite get over Jenny. I mean, she is the love of my life and always will be, so we're getting married.
Wait a second. This is not April, so this cannot be an April Fool joke.
No, he's being very serious. And I, for one, think it's absolutely great.
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah, I do too. Congratulations, Brad. I mean, it's not everybody that gets to marry the love of their life.
Wait a second. He married the love of his life, and then he was engaged to her twice, and that was broken off, and he killed her.
What? What a kidder. She's kidding. Look, Jenny has forgiven me my past transgressions. Why are you hanging on to them?
I will believe this when I hear it from Jenny, and then, guess what I'm gonna do, buddy?
You gonna try and talk her out of it?
Isn't the timing on this a little off? David's just been gone for about a week.
Well, I guess you don't know Jenny very well. She's very patriotic, and David was a traitor. And I guess that's one thing she finds unforgivable.
Why don't we all lighten up here, okay? I mean, Brad's getting married. Come on, now, congratulate him. Jenny and Brad probably had some problems way back when, but they're over them now. Come on.
Well, I don't mean to be a drag, but you have to admit the news is a little shocking.
I understand that, and that's why I'm answering all the cracks and the questions. And to answer one that you haven't asked yet, the wedding is tomorrow.
What?
Yay! No gifts, please. Well, bye. Yeah. Excuse me.
Wait a second. There is something very wrong here. Jenny wouldn't make that mistake again. No, I know how much she loved David, traitor or no traitor.
Sounds like one of them rebound situations to me.
No. She's too level-headed for that.
Well, you know, when people are in pain, they make mistakes, and, well, maybe this isn't a mistake.
No, I'm sorry. This is not the right move for her to make.
Well, look, I have to admit, I don't know enough about the situation one way or another to comment, but listen, why don't we get out of here? Why don't we go over to the plant and check out the elections and, see what's going on? Maybe, the vote's all in.
Right, and you'll be back here in what, an hour or two for the victory celebration?
We got it. Come on.
Good luck.
We don't pass off them suckers. We don't need luck for meals, hey!
That's right, you lead up.
What's wrong with me? What did I think, a wedding party was going to be 4 people? Be a whole crowd of people here, people I'm supposed to know. Well, I'll take some of this anyway. And I'm going to run away. Where am I going to go? How am I going to get there? They'll send the National Guard after me. Wait a minute. Didn't I see something in her diary about a house, a cabin? Wait a minute.
Here it is. My soul is always at peace when I'm here in Father's cabin. Oh, please. I guess it's the memories of childhood and of Father. But it's the one place in the world where I can think clearly and feel whole again. Ugh. Yeah, but Clint must know how she feels about this place. And he knows that his little Vicky hasn't been exactly whole at the moment. Come in.
Well, cook's all prepared to throw the celebration for Jenny. Oh, we'll get us back to the bank in the morning.
I'll do it.
No, I'll take it on the way to the banner. Anyway, Cook says anytime you feel up to it, she's ready to get together with you and plan a menu.
Clint, I know you're going to be upset about this, but I'm afraid I can't be here for Jenny's wedding tomorrow.
I just can't imagine you poor.
I can't imagine it either.
But you were once. I mean, I remember you telling me about those times.
Yes, honey. But I didn't have any choice, and I was younger and braver then. I'm older now, and I'm spoiled rotten. Not going to be easy backtracking. Oh, I'm sorry. Really, I am. I'm just wallowing in self-pity here.
Mom, you've got to think positively. You've got to think constructively. You can become a doctor again.
Oh, please. I'd have to wear that funny-looking white coat. White every day of my life. Can you imagine me in white
It's not
every
the
day?
outfit that matters. Besides, you'd have status again. You'd be busy. You'd be making money.
Honey, look, I really do appreciate you trying to help, but if I truly did want to practice medicine again, I would have to go back to medical school. There have been so many changes and developments since I practiced, and then I would have to go to the board and convince them that I was worthy to practice. I don't want to do any of those things.
What other choice do you have?
I don't know. I'm too numb to think at the moment. All I really want to do is crawl into bed. Go home, crawl into bed, go fast asleep and dream about all my diamonds, furs, my beautiful clothes, my titles, all the power I used to have, my stocks and bonds, everything I used to have. Until a few weeks ago. I may not be the world's nicest person, but I really don't deserve this to happen to me.
You're just in a down cycle right now. You're going to get out of this. You always get out of things like this. I mean, nothing can keep you down. And I will help you any way I can. As a matter of fact, Rob and I are looking for a place to live, and we'll find a place big enough so that you can stay with us.
What? Sorry, dear. I wouldn't do that to yourself. I certainly wouldn't do it to myself. No, but, do me a favor, please. Don't tell anybody that I'm broke. And most of all, don't tell anybody that I'm a little bit depressed. I would hate to think that anybody was laughing at me. And worst of all, I wouldn't want anybody feeling sorry for me. I think that would just about finish me off.
Well, things are rolling from my end. Rob and Cassie are joining the wedding party, and Rob's taking care of the yacht.
Great. I broke the news to Vicky and Clint. Vicky was amazingly supportive.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I always did like Vicky. She's got good taste.
Get this, she wants us to have the wedding at Landfair.
Hey, that's great. We get a lot of media coverage from that.
We could arrange it.
Well, I'll make some phone calls. You know, I really took a beating from Wanda over this marriage.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, in defending your choice, I got a little carried away. I forgot the only reason you're marrying me is so you can run off with David. That made me a little sad.
I'll tell you, you are incredible. I know this must hurt a lot.
You know what hurts? Not the fact that I'm handing you over to another man after the wedding, but... the killer is... I'll never see you again. I mean, even though you hated me, we at least lived in the same town. I'd catch a glimpse of you now and then. Now you're just gonna vanish. You'll be taking my heart with you.
Only a part of it. Maybe now that I'm vanishing out of your life, you will truly let yourself love another woman.
Never as much as I love you. Thank you.
What do you mean you can't be here for Jenny's wedding?
Well, it seemed like such a good idea at the time when I suggested we throw the wedding, but then when you said that all the people would be here, well, I panicked.
Why, sweetheart? You've always enjoyed throwing parties.
Well, that was before Nikki, before everything happened to me, before all this humiliation.
To people who love you, they don't even care, honey. Now, why can't you see that?
Please don't be angry. I'm not feeling this on purpose.
I know that.
Look, you're frustrated, and I understand your frustration, and so I think that the best thing for both of us would be if I went up to Father's cabin alone.
Alone? You want to be alone?
Yes, I need the quiet to pull myself together without everyone watching me and worrying. I need to walk the trails and stare at the trees and listen to the sounds of nature.
Every time I turn around, you have got another surprise for me.
Oh, Clint, you've been so patient, and I hate to ask for more patience, but I promise you, I'll come back whole again. I do love you, and I know that you miss the physical love we used to share.
That's an understatement.
Well, maybe that'll come back, too, after I've had some time to be by myself. I'm sure that you and Tina can manage the wedding alone without me.
Oh, no. He's not buying this for 1 minute. Thursday at 8/7 Central, Colt competes in a death-defying contest to prove who's king of the stuntmen on The Fall Guy. Then, when the law is not enough, Justice has a new name. They call her Lady Blue. Followed by 2020. Frisco forsakes all to catch a killer. Stay tuned for General Hospital, following an ABC News brief. Next.
Just great. You'd be proud of the men you got working for you. Well, I'll tell you, I'm real proud of my son, and I'm thankful for, the way you dealt with that fire. We all thank you.
Well, I'm just thankful that we didn't suffer any more damage than we did, and we didn't lose one human life either. You want to run over and see Clint and Vicky?
Well, Clint's here. He's saying goodnight to his boys.
What for? What is he? Why are the boys still here?
Well, I'll tell you, Bo, I'm not so sure of that myself.
Well, what? Hey!
How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Well, it doesn't look like a little honest labor, her, Shanny.
No, I'm feeling pretty fine. How about you and Vicky? Where's she? She not with you?
No, she's, Vicky's on her way up to the mountain cabin.
Cabin? I thought she was going to throw a wedding for Jenny.
Well, now Tina and I are throwing it.
Tina? What, Jenny's getting married? Are you kidding me? Have I been gone months?
One thing at a time. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock at our place, Jenny is going to marry Brad Vernon again.
Why? Why is she doing a thing like that? David just died, did he? And plus he made the news out there in the West. He's some kind of traitor to this country.
Jenny claims that for her, David died a long time ago. And that she and Brad can be happy. Anyway, Vicky figured that Jenny knows what she's doing. She offered her the use of land fair. Of course, 10 minutes later, after she left the house, Vicky informs me that she can't stand to be around a crowd of people. Of course, she hasn't been able to stand being around me for a while either.
Wait a minute, Clint, you're going to have to back up. None of this makes any sense to me.
I think I told you on the phone, though, that Vicky's a little shaky.
Yeah, well, let's define shaky.
She is afraid that Nicole Smith could come back at any minute. She's even afraid to have the kids at the house. I mean, there's a tension to her, Bo. She's not the old Vicky.
Now, well, you mentioned Tina.
Well, Tina's living at the house with us. She's being a real little sister. She's helping out every way she can.
You know, when you just said that, you didn't sound at all sarcastic.
Well, I don't mean it to be sarcastic. Oh, she can still be a pain, and she still gets on my nerves, but she's She's sincerely concerned about Vicky. Vicky has forgiven her. And I think on the most part, so have I. You, fellas join me in a drink?
Yes, I will.
No, I don't want none for me. What does Dr. Polk say?
Well, Dr. Polk isn't treating Vicky anymore. That's a whole other story. I'd just soon not go into that now, Bo.
Hasn't there been any good news at all around here since I've been gone?
Yes, this sun's going to come up right soon. They had the Lon Manning election, and Dee Dee's expected to win by a landslide.
All right, now that is good news. Yeah, I like that. I think I'm just going to go over to her house and congratulate her. Right now. Of course, don't hold me to any of that tomorrow. Clint, is there anything I can help you out with?
No. Thanks, Bo. My life's kind of on hold right now until Vicky gets strong again.
Okay.
But it's nice to know that you're around if I need you.
Yeah, same here, even though I don't need you. Now, why don't you scoot over to Dee Dee? Oh, by the way, your cousin Rafe's not going to be too happy to see you.
No?
Oh, excuse me.
I mean, to have Vicky and at the same time not have her, I don't know, it's like in my worst nightmares. I never knew it'd be this bad.
How distant is she? I mean, no warmth, no physical affection?
Well, there's a warmth, but we haven't made love in a long time.
That's got to be killing you.
It's not just the physical thing, Pa. It's, well, you love a woman, and you want to make love to her because you are in love with her, and circumstances don't permit you to express your feelings.
Well, you know how long it takes a drill to go through the hard core before you hit oil?
How about another drink?
No, I drank mine slow. I didn't throw it down like you did.
Oh, really? Well, I'll tell you what, I just may throw this one down. And then I may have another one and throw it down.
Fine. Is that going to help?
I don't know. But I'll tell you what I do know. I know that when I go home tonight, I'm going to walk into an empty house. And when I go upstairs, I'm going to climb into an empty bed. Well, maybe if I just have enough of these, maybe I'll get some sleep.
Get in your car, go to that mountain cabin, tell your wife you'd like to get reacquainted.
What, so I can be rejected again? Pa, she went up there because she wants to be alone. Vicky believes she can heal her soul there.
See, I'm wondering about the wisdom of letting her do it her way.
I don't know about that. Whatever. I'm still saddled with the wedding tomorrow.
That wedding, Clint, shouldn't take place anyway.
I can't say whether it should or it shouldn't. All I can do is carry through Vicky's offer with Tina's help.
You look tired. Why don't you go home?
Well, is that a polite way of telling me that you're tired?
I'll tell you what my granddaddy used to say when company stayed too long. He'd tell his wife, he said, Rhea, let you and me go to bed so these nice folks can find their way home. Yeah, I admit, I'm beat.
Well, why don't you go on up? I'll finish this, and I'll look in on Kevin and Joey before I leave.
Clint, give your mind a rest. Try not to think too much.
Good night, Pa.
All right.
Oh, Vicky, what the hell happened to us?
With these? These are for the terrace. Oh, no, I just finished the terrace, and it's perfect. Just the way it is. Mrs. Buchanan always likes several bouquets on the terrace. But Mrs. Buchanan is not doing the arrangements. I am. She always has the terrace filled with flowers, especially on special occasions like this. Peg, just a minute here. Let's
let's get this clear right from the start, all right? I mean, Clint has given me full authority to do all these arrangements, and as long as I have that authority, we're going to do it my way. For all of us, and I just want to make sure that we get everything perfectly straight right at the start here.
Oh, all right. Where shall I put these?
Well, I happen to think they would look just lovely in the hall.
Very well.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Dinnerstein. Excuse me, caterer's here.
Hello, it's Leo Dinnerstein, right?
Dinnerstein, Leo Dinnerstein. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Well, I'm so happy you could come here on such short notice.
I have been looking forward to catering an event at Landfair for quite some time.
Well, good. Cook has everything all set up.
My staff is already down there working with her. They came in through the service entrance, you know, not to disturb anything. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely lovely. What a splendid idea to have the ceremony outdoors. It's such a beautiful Indian summer.
Yes, it is, isn't it? And I thought we would just have the buffet right out here in the library.
Perfect! No wonder you have such a reputation for good taste, Mrs. Buchanan.
Wait just a minute, Mr. Dinnerstein.
I suggest that we close off the doors while the ceremony is going on outside. You see, then the staff can bring in everything from the kitchen. We will, of course, circulate with trays, Mrs. Buchanan.
Now, Leo,
Nothing to worry about. Everything will be ready well ahead of time.
Look, Mr. Dinnerstein, whatever it
We
is.
have some
there's something
hors
to
d'oeuvres that you would not...
Aha.
Mr. Buchanan.
That's right.
Nice to meet you, Leo Dinnerstein. It's going to be a lovely party. Mrs. Buchanan and I have everything under control.
Mrs. Buchanan?
Explain to Mr. Dinnerstein here that my name is Tina Lord.
You're not Mrs. Buchanan?
My wife is away, Mr. Dinnerstein.
Stein.
Whatever. My wife is away. And her sister here is helping out while she's gone.
I'm terribly sorry. Ooh, I better go down to the kitchen and check on the kiwi tarts. Excuse me.
I have tried to explain to him, Clint.
I see. Okay, as long as everything else is going all right.
Well, just take a look for yourself. It's all completed.
Yeah, it looks very nice. Vicky is very grateful you're doing this.
Have you spoken to her?
Yes, she called from the mountain cabin. She said to be sure and thank you and to tell you that she couldn't have trusted anyone else.
Well, you know, it's not surprising that she trusts me. After all, we have both been working very hard at that.
I know. I don't, I don't mean to sound ungrateful.
Yeah, it's just that you're not really sure yet. Look, I know Vicky and I both have made a lot of mistakes in the past, and maybe my mistakes were just a little bit bigger than hers. But, look, all I ever really wanted was to be accepted as Victor Lord's daughter and as Vicky's sister. Believe me, if I wanted more than that, it would have been easy enough to go after it.
Oh. So instead you decided to go after Dorian.
Well, Dorian has asked for it. And it has nothing to do, no effect at all, on my relationship with Vicky. I mean, after all, we're sisters, right? I mean, and we are starting to finally trust one another, and I think it would really help if you learned to trust a little yourself.
I do believe that you're trying.
Good, because I am. And I'm going to try even harder with this party. I really want it to be a success. Believe me, you have no idea how important this is to me. Will there be anything else? No, everything looks just fine, thank you. Good.
Well, terrace looks very nice.
Thank you.
In fact, everything here looks just about perfect. I'm going to hand it to you. It's very, very nice.
Well, what did you expect? Hot dogs and popsicles?
Well, I'm not sure what I expected, but the point is that you have done a first-rate job.
Well, thank you. That means a lot to me.
Oh. Well, the guests are going to start arriving just any time. Don't you think that...
Think what?
Well, don't you think that maybe you ought to get changed?
You're right. Yeah, I got so busy with everything else, I forgot to take care of myself.
Well, you better get a move on. You don't want to keep your guests waiting.
No, I certainly don't, do I?
I'm afraid I'm going to have to amend my earlier remarks. It's very clear to me now, the letter is in fact an out-and-out fraud. It is a monstrous defamation of my father's character. And this person that you see standing next to me right here is not, and I repeat not, she is not Victor Lord's daughter, nor is she my sister. She is simply an opportunistic, lying, self-seeking little...
No. No, this is not the right look for this occasion. This is never going to work. Now, we need a whole different look. We need something a little more appropriate. Nope. I need something new, something appropriate for the hostess of Landfair.
Marvelous.
Thank
How are
you.
you? Congratulations. Go right in. Can I get either of you anything to drink?
Lila?
No, I'm fine, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Wow. I just think this is fantastic of Vicki and Clint to do all this.
Well, Jenny's done a lot for them, too.
Brad, what is with you?
I'm fine, really.
Now, come on, you can't fool me. When I was speaking to you earlier this afternoon, I really got the feeling you're getting cold feet.
I would never do that to Jenny. I love her too much.
But you're so preoccupied, so serious.
Well, I am serious. This is the most important day of my life, you know. I heard Jenny so many times in the past. Today I intend to prove to her how much I really love her.
Well, I wish you all the best. Both you and Jenny deserve a lifetime of happiness.
Ah, Bradley. You know, you're marrying one of the most remarkable women I know. You better take good care of her.
I'll do my best.
And Delilah, even more ravishing than usual.
Oh, thank you. House looks great.
Oh, thanks. I'm sorry Vicki can't be here for it, but Tina's doing a good job of filling in for her, don't you think?
Where is Tina?
She's upstairs changing. She'll be down here. Ah, the best man.
Hi, everybody. How are you? Everything looks very set.
You got the ring?
Yeah, I got the ring. I got the ring, sure. I told you. I got the ring.
You know, this is the time that I like the best. Right before the wedding, everyone's so full of hope. This is a real time for celebration. Came out just in time for the fall season, and I'm so hopeful. I mean, but not only for me, for everyone. For Jenny and Brad, and Vicky's getting better every day. I know that her trip to the mountain cabin is really going to help.
Well, I certainly hope so.
So, come in. You look very beautiful. Congratulations. Take these.
Jenny, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, Wanda.
Hi, Cuz. You ready for the big day?
You bet. Hello, Cassie.
Hi, Clint. Yes, Delilah.
Well, I'll tell you what, there are so many beautiful women here all at one time. I am just flat overwhelmed. Especially you, Jenny. Much happiness and love always.
Well, the bride and the groom are here. Let's start, huh?
Wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. Don't you think it would be polite to wait for the guests? Or to wait for the priest?
Ah, yes, Father. Father Campion should have been here by now. He must have been delayed.
Brad's here, isn't he, Rob?
He's out on the terrace.
That's bad luck.
Well, I don't believe in bad luck today. I'm going to go see him. Excuse me.
Oh, where's her bouquet?
She left it out in the hall.
Oh, I'll go get it.
I'd better check and see what's keeping Tina.
Clint, isn't Tina wearing Vicky's dress?
Father Campion arrived yet?
What the hell are you doing wearing that dress? I'm waiting for an answer.
Look, Clint, I was going to wear that, that hot pink dress. The one I wore at the Banner anniversary banquet. And I wore it with this pin, remember? And Vicky slapped me.
Of course, yeah, I remember that.
Well, I looked at myself in the mirror, and it just looked so loud and so tight. I don't know. It just wasn't right. I wanted to be the perfect hostess for you, all right? And I didn't mean to upset you. Believe me, that was the last thing I wanted to do.
All right. It's not that big a deal, okay? Come on, everything's okay, I understand.
So I can wear it?
Yes, you can wear it. As a matter of fact, you look very attractive in it.
Thanks, Clint. Thank you.
Think I ought to go in and rescue Clint?
No, I think he can take care of himself.
Boy, Tina, she takes over the house and then she starts wearing Vicky's wardrobe. Excuse me, Tina. I think everyone would be a lot more comfortable if you went up and changed into something else.
Well, not Clint. He seems to think I look just fine.
Takes a lot of nerve to wear that dress.
Nerve? You're going to marry him and you're talking to me about nerve? Don't challenge me, especially not here. Not in this house, because I would have you know that
Okay, let's cool it, ladies. I mean, this is our wedding day, right, Jenny? We don't want to get upset over nothing.
No.
Well, excuse me then. I have some important things to deal with after all I'm with you.
This is all wrong. I mean, we should have had our wedding in someplace quiet. Where is Father Campion? It's not like him to be late.
Wanda, what is she doing in that dress?
I don't know, but you talk about tacky.
Yeah, well, Tina was never really known for her sensitivity, was she?
But Clint seems to have accepted it, so who are we to disagree?
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should call him. Maybe he got the time wrong.
Will you relax? He'll be here.
I can't relax. I look around this room and I realize I'm not going to see it again or any of these people.
Don't think that way. You'll never get through the ceremony if you do.
He's got to be getting to you.
Yes, of course he is. As a matter of fact, a couple hours ago, Clay offered to cut me in on a big deal after our honeymoon.
What did you say?
I had to turn him down. Imagine that, Brad Vernon turning down a deal for money, huh?
Father Campion, please, we've been concerned about you.
Sorry, I had a last-minute guest at the rectory. I couldn't get away gracefully.
Well, I'll tell Jenny you're here. I'm playing hostess today.
Very nice of you. Where's Vicky?
Well, she was feeling kind of ill, so she thought maybe it was time for a little vacation up in the mountains. Here, let me take you on in, okay? Oh, and here is the blushing bride.
Oh, Father Campion.
Jenny, I'm late, I'm afraid. I apologize.
No, that's all right. It's good to see you.
Excuse me, may I have your attention, please? Ladies and gentlemen, please. Father Campion has just arrived, so we can now begin. And so let's all make our way out onto the terrace, okay?
Sure. Oh.
Excuse me. Jenny.
Hi.
You asked someone to walk you down the aisle yet?
I haven't even thought about it.
Oh, well, may I have the pleasure? I know if Larry were here, you'd want him to do it, but since he isn't...
Larry doesn't go along with what I'm doing. Clint, I would be honored.
Well, the honor is mine. I hope you understand about Vicky.
Oh, yes, of course.
I mean, she just needs time, you know?
Yeah, and I'm sure that when she gets back, everything is going to be just fine.
Well, so am I. And may I say that I hope your marriage will be as happy and rewarding as ours was.
You mean yes?
Yes, right. Well, listen, she's going to be waiting here with open arms when you get back. When you come back from the honeymoon. How long are you going to be gone?
I don't know. Our plans are kind of up in the air right now. I'm going to miss you, and I'm going to miss Vicky. I want you to tell her that when she gets back, okay?
Well, you can tell her yourself when you get back. I mean, she's going to want to hear all about your cruise.
Right, just be sure and tell her that, okay?
Honey, is something wrong?
No. I want you to tell her that she's the best friend I ever had. And I love you, and I love her so very much.
Jenny, is there something you should be telling me?
No. You know, I think it's about time to get on with this. Come on.
Excuse me, please. I would like to tell you something, Bradley. You better be good to that lady. Or you're going to hear from her.
Wanda, I want to thank you for your well wishes, and I will try and do just that. Father Campion, are we about ready?
Just about. To enter into marriage, join your right hands and declare your consent before God and his church. I, Bradley, take you, Jenny, for my lawful wife.
I, Bradley, take you, Jenny, for my lawful wife.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
For better, for worse. For richer, for poorer.
For better, for worse. For richer, for poorer.
In sickness and in health. Until death do us part.
In sickness and in health, till death do us part.
I, Jenny, take you, Bradley, for my lawful husband.
I, Jenny, take you, Bradley, for my lawful husband.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer.
For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
Until death do us part. Universe, maker of man and woman in your own likeness, source of blessing for married life, we humbly pray to you for this woman and this man, today united in the sacrament of marriage. May your fullest blessing come upon them, so that they may together rejoice in your gift of married love and enrich your church with their children. May they praise you when they are happy and turn to you in their sorrows. May they pray to you in the community of your church and be your witness in the world. May they reach old age in the company of their friends and come at last to the kingdom of heaven. We ask this through Christ our Lord, as we all say, Amen. Amen. Bradley, you may kiss your bride.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Bradley, may I be the first to congratulate you?
Thank you.
Jenny, happiness?
Thank you for everything you've done.
Oh, pleasure. Pleasure.
Excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? There's going to be dancing and refreshments in the library.
Good.
It's my
We
pleasure.
appreciate everything you did.
Oh, it's my pleasure. You did very well.
Oh,
You
thanks.
really were terrific. You look nice.
Thank you.
Think it's all right for us to leave now?
We've got to be on the yacht by now,
We
sure.
must have left about half an hour ago.
So they're casting the lines off.
Let's just clean up and make our way.
Sure.
Nancy, Ron, you don't have to do that. No, the servants will take care of all that.
Are you sure, Tina?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But thank you for all your help.
Thanks, Clint, for letting us use the house.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Well, have a good night. Thanks again.
Bye.
You too. Bye-bye. Good night, Rod. Well, Tina, you were a very good hostess. I really appreciate everything you did.
Thank you. You know, the only thing is I never got to dance with the host.
Well, we can rectify that right now.
Okay.
All the champagne I had today, I kind of feel like I got two left feet.
No, not at all. You danced very nicely.
You dance very, well, I think the party's over.
What do you mean? My carriage turns into a pumpkin now? Is that it?
That's right. It's time to stop, making believe. Time to get back into your own clothes and stop pretending that you're the mistress of the manor. Huh?
It's the wedding, isn't it? I overdid it, didn't I?
Of course not.
No, it was the reception. I was trying too hard, wasn't I? I knew it.
Tina, that's not it at all.
Well, then what is it? Why are you so angry with me?
You did a beautiful job today. The whole day was a smashing success.
Well, I don't get it. Why are you so upset?
I am not upset with you. If anything, I'm upset with me. Call it guilt if you want to. I mean, for a little while there, the house just seemed so alive again. I felt alive again. For the first time in a long, long time, I felt alive again.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Well, it's an illusion. I mean, with the people gone and the music over, the house is as empty as ever.
It's not empty. We're here.
Vicky isn't.
I know that, but that's her decision, Clint. She wanted to be alone in the mountains. She knew we were going to carry on here.
I know that. I know that.
And this was all for Jenny's sake. She wanted it to be a happy occasion, and, well, it was, wasn't it?
For you, maybe. And for Jenny. And for Brad.
But not for you.
Tina, it's just not the same without Vicky here. Nothing is the same. See, I thought that when Vicky came back, everything was going to go back to being the way it was, you know? And it hasn't. Everything has gone wrong. It's gone haywire. It's gone upside down. It's just gone.
I'm sorry. I tried my best.
Don't be sad. You did a beautiful job today.
No, you're just saying that.
Oh, really? Well, you know me a little bit, don't you? Do you know me to go tossing compliments around? You did a beautiful, beautiful job today. I am very grateful for your help. And I'm very, very proud of you.
You really mean that?
I really mean that.
Thanks, Clint. You don't know what that means to me. Listen, I better tell the servants they can start cleaning up, huh?
Tina. You know, the party may be over, but I kind of feel that something else might be just beginning.
What's that?
A friendship. A friendship between you and me. That'd be something, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Good morning, Clint.
Oh, morning, Tina.
Is Vicky home yet?
No, I was just calling the cabin, but there's no answer, so I guess she must be on her way.
Well, how do you feel?
Nervous, what else? The few times we've talked on the phone, she's had very little to say, so I don't know what to expect.
Well, I am feeling very optimistic. And she's coming home early.
And now I am ready, I think, to take on the cowboy.
Decided to come home last night.
I don't really know. She just announced it was time to leave.
What was her mood?
Well, I don't know. She was in pretty good spirits from what I could tell.
Why, she's not depressed?
I suppose. I'm not sure. She was very preoccupied while we were there.
Doing what?
Well, she spent most of her time in the bedroom watching TV.
Vicky, just watching TV?
Well, that or reading. In fact, I hardly ever saw her except at meals. Oh, yes, she liked to go out for walks, too. Oh, she'd go into the woods and always take a cassette recorder with her. Anyway, last night when I thought it was time to go to bed, well, she said no, that we were driving back.
Well, I guess maybe she just figured she didn't want to bother me when she got... Thanks, June. Thanks.
Clint, why would Vicky be walking around with a tape recorder?
Well, maybe she wanted to keep a record of her experiences.
But doesn't she keep a diary?
Well, yeah, but it's probably kind of hard to walk and write at the same time.
Yeah, I wonder if she intends to publish her story, because if so, she can hardly blame me for wanting to do a film about my life, now could she?
Film? What film?
Oh, I forgot to mention this, didn't I? Clay Monroe wants to do a docudrama about my life.
Yeah, you did forget to mention it. You can just forget it.
Why?
Why? Because I'm not going to have you exploit my wife any more than you already have. That's why.
It's not exploitive. It happens to be very factual.
Ah, factual. Well, let's talk about that. Factual. The facts are that your recent life has been rather sensational now, hasn't it? And it's mainly due to the fact that Vicky has got this dual personality thing. Now, without that, you don't really have a story, do you? Now, Tina, listen. You and I have started to get along because I have started to believe that maybe you really cared about your sister.
I do care about her. Of course I do.
Then prove it. Prove it by dropping this ridiculous, stupid idea.
I don't believe it. I cannot believe this. Does everybody in this house, I mean, they just treat me like I am some stupid little girl. Well, I have had it. Pretty soon they're going to learn to respect me around here.
Now this wardrobe is starting to get on my nerves. But I gotta play this part completely until everybody is thoroughly convinced that Vicky is back, and not only back, but back for good. That she's in her right mind and making rational decisions and 100% normal again. And then, when the time is right, I'm gonna take her money and I'm gonna split. Maybe I'll go to Japan. I always wanted to go to Japan. Anyway, I'm gonna get away from this palace and the palace guards for good.
Sweetheart, you up? Can I come in?
Curtain up. Clint, please, come in.
He's afraid of me. He doesn't know if he should touch me or not.
Oh, Clint, I missed you so much.
I miss you too, sweetheart.
Oh, no. I have a terrible cold that I caught up in the mountains. I wouldn't want you to catch it. Oh, it's an awful cold. Tell me, how are the children? How are my darling Kevin and Joey? I miss them so much.
Well, they're fine. They're fine. Of course, they're anxious to come home.
Yes. I tell you what, we'll put that off just until my cold is a little bit better. But how is school going? Kevin was, I know he always loved school, but Joey was always a bit reluctant about school.
No, he's actually kind of liking it this year.
Oh, really? That's great. And tell me, have either of them fallen off of any of Ace's horses?
Honey, you're going to have to see them ride for yourself.
Oh.
They become a couple of real regular cowboys.
Oh, and the banner, have you been able to manage, or have I sort of left you holding the bag?
I hope that means you're ready to come back. Because we could sure use you. The banner misses your touch, honey. And so do I, you know what I mean? It's good to have you in my arms again.
Yes, it's wonderful for me, too. Oh, no, darling.
Tell me, why did you come home and, well, the rest of us were already in bed?
Because I missed my life and my home, and I just didn't want to put it off another day.
Well, I wish you'd have crawled in bed with me. That would have been a nice surprise.
Yes, it would have been nice, but the last thing you need is to get a cold.
I don't care anything about a cold. All I care about is holding you and loving you.
Oh, no, darling. Now, I refuse to let you get ill.
Honey, I have been ill for weeks. I have been sick with love for weeks and weeks. I want to make love to you. I want to make love to you, honey. It's been too damn long. And there's been too much distance between us.
Well, not now, darling. I mean, you have to go to the office.
Well, I was on my way to the office. But the office can wait.
Well, no, now you're going to make me feel guilty. I mean, one of us has to be there.
We can both go in together later.
No. No, please. I'm not ready for that. Please, not yet.
You stronger?
Well, yes, I am. Truly, I am. It's just that I'm not ready to face people at the Banner.
Why? You embarrassed?
Well, I know you think it's silly, but if I had to hide it from you, who I truly love, you can imagine I would be reluctant to face the employees. Right?
Sweetheart, once you get down there and you see how happy everybody is to see that you're well again, you'll get over it.
Yes, you're right. You're probably right. I mean, you usually are. Let's take it one thing at a time, all right?
One thing at a time.
I tell you what, why don't you sit down with me and tell me about Brad and Jenny's wedding. On the phone, you said it went very well.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it did. They couldn't have done it without Tina.
Oh, tell me about the emotional climate. Do you think that Jenny was on the rebound from David and that Brad was taking advantage of her?
I don't know, but I do know that everyone was really disappointed that you couldn't stick around for the wedding.
I know, but I really had to get away. You know that. Did Jenny say how long they were going to be gone on their honeymoon?
No, but she did tell me to be sure and give you her love.
Oh, she's wonderful. You know, I think that it's Jenny's conviction, her religious conviction that really has made her be able to see some good in Brad. I just hope that her faith is rewarded this time.
I love you.
You've had such faith in me, too. You know, you and Jenny are a lot alike in that way. Your faith and your love.
Let's stop talking about love. Let's show each other love.
No, please, I said I have a cold.
And I said I don't care.
Please, I don't want to make love. I feel rotten from this cold.
You sure it's cold? You sure it's not me? You sure it's not the fact that maybe you just don't feel any passion for me anymore?
Oh, how can you even think that?
That's pretty damn easy. You throw me out of our bed, you run away from our home, you finally come back and you still don't want anything to do with me. How long is this going to go on?
Really, I'm making too much of this.
Am I? How much am I supposed to take, honey? I love you, damn it. I'm your husband. Sex used to be a very important, beautiful thing in our lives.
Yes, I know that, and I am sorry. I know you're frustrated, and I want us to be lovers too, but can't it wait just a few days? I mean, until my cold is better.
Summertime it's headaches, and in the wintertime it's a cold. I can't wait till spring to see what you come up with.
Please, don't be angry.
It's not just anger, damn it.
I know, you're hurt. I'll make it up to you. I swear I will.
I'm going to the Banner. You change your mind about coming in, call me.
I love you.
Yeah, right.
What is it going to cost me just to be free?
see my briefcase?
Yeah, it's right here. How's Vicky?
I'll be at the Banner.
Clint, what's wrong?
Nothing.
Tina!
Oh, Vicky, hi. I was just on my way up to see you.
Well, I'm not going to be spending so much time in my room anymore.
Did you and Clint have a fight?
No. Oh, no, he's a little upset, a little frustrated because I'm not really completely my old self again.
Uh-oh. I hope that doesn't mean that you don't want to see Kevin and Joey, because I just called and left a message for Asa to bring them by.
What'd you do that for? I don't want to see those kids tonight.
Back? My, we're awfully short-tempered today, aren't we?
Oh, Tina, I'm so sorry. Oh, that really was uncalled for. It's just that I have a cold, and I wouldn't want to hug my children and give them a cold.
It's all right. No problem. I'll call and cancel the message.
Thank you, thank you. Where's the mail?
It's right over here on the desk.
Thank you.
You know, Vicky, you wanted me to mention to you if I have... Well, you just sounded exactly like Nicole Smith.
Oh, dear, how awful.
Yeah, I guess you didn't get any stronger in your time away, huh?
Oh, but I did. I truly did. It's... Oh, dear, now I'm very worried. Maybe it's just when I lose my temper that she... Well, I mean... Oh, I'm trying so hard to leave that horrible person behind.
Yeah, well, I'll just sit here and read the newspaper while you go through your mail.
I won't be long. Why did I do that? Where is my self-control? I have to learn not to panic, and I have to stop yelling at Tina. I mean, I need her on my side. I don't think she suspected anything this time, but she's a pretty smart cookie, and if she ever guessed that I'm only pretending to be Vicky, well, that's it.
Is what I'm thinking possible? It would sure make sense out of some things she's done. Are you really Vicky? Or are you Nikki and just pretending? I wonder how I can find out for sure.
Tina, once again, I want to apologize for that, well, explosion. It's my cold. It's got me so on edge.
Don't worry about it.
But I do worry about it. I mean, if I sounded like Nikki even for a minute, oh.
Have you had any other signs of Nikki?
No, not that I can tell. But, of course, that's what I depend on you for.
You know, it just hit me. If Nikki were suddenly to start popping out again, I'm not... Well, I don't know what I'd do.
You would warn me, just like you did, wouldn't you?
Well, I know that's what I promised I'd do, but maybe that's not the best thing.
What are you saying?
Well, maybe the best thing would be to discuss it with Clint and Dr. Pope.
No, you see, I've told you this before. I don't want to worry Clint about this. I'm quite capable of taking care of it by myself, you see.
But you might be playing with fire. Look, I know you asked me to move here just primarily to keep an eye on you, to see if you were slipping into being like Nikki, but if that were to happen, you should go get help. You shouldn't be trying to keep it a secret. Oh, unless there's some other reason why you want to try to keep it a secret.
No, I didn't invite you to Landfair as some sort of a watchdog or to keep secrets. You're here because of all the things that we've been through together as sisters. Don't you see that? And there's nobody else, well, except Clint, of course, who really understands me so well and who I can talk to.
Well, I'm so glad you feel that way. It's just that I'm worried.
Oh, I know. You want the best. Do you have any idea how frightening it is for me to even think of speaking or behaving like that horrible creature? But you see, if you're here to warn me, then...
Oh, but maybe a warning isn't enough.
Oh, of course it is. Then I can begin to fight back.
Well, But by yourself? Vicky, I'm certainly not qualified to help you. And I mean, I'd certainly seem to be the only one that you've sworn to secrecy around here.
No, you've been helping me already. I mean, you must see that. Now, if this situation were to get any more serious, or if the lapses were to occur more frequently, I would be the first one to seek professional help, and of course I would have you to thank for that. But in the meantime, I don't want to burden Clint with it, you see. His patience is already stretched to the limit, and I don't know if our marriage can take the strain. Is that so hard for you to grasp?
It's not hard to grasp, but can't you see that if you were a little closer to Clint, there might not be a strain?
Oh, don't you think I know that? Why do you think I went up to the cabin? I love Clint with all my heart and soul. I want to be close to him, but Tina, I just don't feel that I'm completely myself again yet, and I'm so frightened by it. To discuss it with Clint would only make it worse. Don't you see you're the only one that I can rely on? If you turn your back on me now, I really don't know what I'll do.
I will never do that to my own sister.
Oh, then you will continue helping me.
Any way I can. Oh, Vicky, I am so glad that we had this discussion. It certainly has answered a lot of my questions.
I just need some more time to get settled in, and with this dreadful cold that I have.
You must be exhausted, and I am so sorry that I called Asa and asked him to bring the children over without getting your permission. I will talk to him and ask him to bring them over when you're feeling better.
Thank you. I really think it's for the best. You know, there's so much for me to handle right now between the visitors and the friends and the servants.
But the servants are bothering you, too?
No, but they're always there. You never get any peace and quiet.
Well, maybe I could find a way to give them some time off.
Oh, wouldn't that be wonderful? Oh, Tina, thank you. I think I'm going to go upstairs and take a little rest now. I can't tell you how much I appreciate everything you're doing for me. You're a wonderful sister. Thank you.
Either this really is Vicky, or it's a Class A acting job. I've got to find out. And I think I know how.
Right, she'd had enough of the mountains for a while.
I bet you're just anxious to see you. No, that cabinet's always been great therapy for her. How's she feeling?
A little more rested, I guess.
Good. Because I intend to keep you all busy tonight.
Doing what?
We're going to have a private screening of Backfire. It's nothing fancy. It's just the rough cut, but we're going to have a party afterwards. Just wouldn't be the same without you.
Well, Bo, I'm not too sure we can make it.
What, you already have other plans?
Well, not exactly.
Well, see, then there's no excuse. Come on. Don't you want to see what your little brother's been up to all these months?
Of course I do, but look, all I can promise you is that I'll do my best to try and make it.
Okay. What about Vicky? She's the only one in this family with any taste.
Well, she's probably going to want to stay home and rest.
I thought you just said she got her fill of rest up at the cabin. Clint, is something wrong? Because if there is...
Bo, that stay up at the mountain cabin didn't do her a bit of good. Not one bit.
She's exactly the same?
That's right, yeah.
Well, why didn't you tell me about it?
Well, because I'm so disgusted I didn't want to think about it.
Oh, come on now.
But, look, you know what I've been? I've been a dummy. I have been a dummy. I actually expected her to come back from the mountain cabin, her old self, as if that mountain air had worked some kind of magic.
Well, what's the problem?
I don't know. I wish I did.
Well, don't go blaming yourself because you've done just about everything you can.
Yeah, right. Well, what do I do now?
I guess you just have faith. That's all. Yeah, you love Vicky just as much as you ever did, and that's gotten you this far, and it's going to see you through the rest of this.
Mm. You know, I keep telling myself that. But you know what, Bo? It gets a little harder and harder to believe all the time. What do you say to a woman who misses her best friend's wedding and doesn't even care? To a woman who sneaks in the middle of the night, sneaks home in the middle of the night without so much as letting me know about it? You know what she said this morning? She's not ready to see the kids. You know why? She got a cold. She got a cold. I'm at the end of my rope. I mean, what the hell is going on here? I mean, why can't one thing, one lousy little thing, go right anymore?
Kids.
He says she's not ready.
Because of a cold? She's been away from those boys for months. You know what they must tell me 10, 12 times a day? When are we going to see Mama, Grandpa? They need her, Tina. Not months from now, not weeks. They need her now. Now, you tell that Vicky.
Take 2 aspirin, blow a nose, because I'm packing for those boys right now.
Asa, you don't understand.
You're damn right I don't understand. She's had a time alone. She's had a time in the cabin. Enough is enough.
Look, you're talking about her like she's the old Vicky, the Vicky you used to know.
I don't know who I'm dealing with anymore.
Well, that's because she's so unstable. Look, it's not too long ago she was still Nikki Smith. She's afraid it's going to happen again. She needs a little more time just to be sure of herself again.
Well, what does my son think of this?
Well, he was pretty mad about it this morning.
Mad, huh? I bet he was hogtied. Where is he, at the banner?
Yes.
I'm going over and see
No,
him.
now, Asa, now, wait just a minute here. Don't you think he's upset enough?
What do you think I'm going to do? Upset him more? Use your head, lady. I'm his father.
Look, Asa, please, just before you do anything, think about Vicky. She's had so many things coming at her from so many different directions. She is overwhelmed, all right? Look, maybe the best thing we can do is just let her take this at her own pace till she comes around.
Let me tell you something. I am sick up to here of this two-bit psychiatry of waiting for Vicky to find herself. What about my boy? Sitting over there, waiting for this wonderful glory day when Vicky gets back in gear. Clint is a red-blooded American man, not some empty tree stump. And he's got the loins of a man. I'm going to tell you something else. Matter of fact, I would not blame him if he went out and had an affair, huh?
I heard it was a good game.
I'll tell you what, why don't we take the boys out next week to the stadium?
Maybe a little later in the season, Pa.
I worry about you, son.
Me? Well, don't. I'm fine.
No, you're not. Spoke to Tina. Vicky doesn't even want to see the boys.
Pa, it's not that she doesn't...
All right, hold it. I may have said it the wrong way. She is not ready. It amounts to the same thing.
All right. Look, do me a favor, will you? Just don't get me started.
I just thought it'd be a lot easier by now.
Yeah, well, so did I. But it's not. And there's not a hell of a lot left to say about it. Bo stopped in here this morning. I took it all out on him.
Glenn, that's what Bo and I are here for. I'll do anything in the world for you.
Yeah, I know yours, and thanks, Pa, but this is one problem even you can't handle.
I want to tell you something. Don't you shut me, your brother, out here.
I just hate to keep laying my problems at your feet, that's all.
I can take it.
You're doing a lot better than I am.
Clint, get it off your chest.
All right. I kind of feel like I'm living in two different worlds myself these days. I mean, am I married to Vicky or aren't I?
You're not enjoying any of the fruits of matrimony?
Pa, I'm not enjoying much of anything lately. I mean, I don't want to push things, and I want to give Vicky all the room she needs, but, you know, some things have got a limit.
I understand. Buchanans marry women who like to have men look at them.
Yeah.
And I imagine this is very hard for you.
Yeah, and who knows when it's going to change, Pa? I mean, who knows when it's going to change? You know, at least before there was some hope that when Vicky got out from under Nikki Smith, that she'd go back to being normal. Right? Well, Nikki's gone. Vicky's back. I still feel like I'm a million miles away from my wife.
I'd like to give you a little advice. Why don't you go away for a while? Go down the ranch, get on a horse, take a long ride every day.
Fine. Who's going to run the paper? Who's going to run the banner, Pa? Vicky doesn't even care about the banner anymore. That's what gets me. She doesn't even care about the banner. I can understand her wanting to get some space, maybe get some time before she gets turned on to me again. But the paper? She's always loved the paper. It's been in her blood. I don't know, Pa. Sometimes it just doesn't seem like there's any way out of this thing. Well, you asked for it. I gave it to you. Both barrels, right? You can probably use a drink.
A little early.
Oh, 5 o'clock someplace.
I've never seen you drink in the office. Son, don't let Vicky do this to you.
Pa, you don't understand. Vicky isn't doing anything to me. And she's not doing anything for me. That's the problem.
That the person who would be most pleased by this distinguished gathering is the man whose portrait you will find in your souvenir program. A man who bought the banner when it was bankrupt and about to cease publication.
About to cease publication.
And built it into one of the most respected newspapers in this country today. I'm speaking, of course, of my beloved father, the late Victor Lord.
I am speaking, of course, of my beloved father, the late Victor Lord. Hey, you're getting pretty good at this, kid. Good thing you boned up on it in the cabin, though. You'd never been able to do that snow job on Tina.
Your souvenir programs are being distributed to you right now, and I think you'll find them very, very interesting. They contain excerpts from my father's work.
Never mind,
They
you gotta watch
contain
everything.
some of his
Copy of every
more
gesture and everything.
outstanding editorial, also a short biographical sketch, and a chronology of the milestones of his career as editor-in-chief.
Somebody's always sneaking up on me around here. Come in. Oh, Tina, I thought you'd gone for the day.
Yes, well, I was invited to the screening of Backfire, and I wanted to come back to change my clothes. Would you like to come with me?
Oh, I was just going to take a nap. Actually, I had been watching television, but it ceased to be interesting, so I turned it off. Was Clint invited tonight?
Well, I would imagine so, since Bo is the co-producer.
Oh, of course, yes. I'm surprised he didn't call me about it. Perhaps he's still angry about this morning. Tell me, did you speak to Asa?
Yes, I told him not to bring the boys around till you were feeling a little better, and I am afraid he's a bit angry, too.
Why can't they understand that I'm not feeling well? What is it with these Buchanan men?
Well, I did try to explain to them that I thought it was much more than your being sick, that you just needed a little more time to feel like yourself, and... Well, whatever. I am very glad we had this discussion earlier, because there is one person in the world you can depend on, Vicki, and that's me.
Yes, Tina, I realize that now. I can't tell you how much that means to me. Well, and I'm quite sure that you will agree with me.
I just want her to understand.
When I...
Vicki, I have to talk to you.
Take it up, baby.
Tina,
Just sit
what are you doing?
Honey, that's...
Why are you wearing that?
Oh, my God, Vicki, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't...
Come here.
I forgot.
Come here. Come here. It's all right. Come here. You did plant the letter, didn't you? And now you're not satisfied with that, but you want to come up here and parade yourself around up here on this dais? No, Tina, I won't allow that. Ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. I'm afraid I'm going to have to amend my earlier remarks. It's very clear to me now. The letter is, in fact, an out-and-out fraud. It is a monstrous defamation of my father's character. And this person that you see standing next to me right here is not, and I repeat not, she is not Victor Lord's daughter, nor is she my sister. She is simply an opportunistic, lying, self-seeking little... Come in. Why, Tina. Oh, my goodness.
Yes, Vicki, I'm leaving for the screening. Will you be all right?
Oh, I'll be fine. You look beautiful.
Thank you. Do you think this pin goes with this dress?
It's perfect.
Thank you. You know, I really wanted you to see it on me, because it meant so much to me when you gave it to me. Really made me feel like a part of the family for the first time.
Oh, well, Tina, no one deserves something like that quite as much as you do. It was my very great pleasure to have given it to you. What's wrong?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, I was just thinking how I'm going to be late for the movie. In fact, I've probably missed half of it already.
You know, I'm still very, very worried about slipping into Nikki Smith.
Well, of course, I understand that. I just wish you could be with me.
Well, have a good time.
I will, and I'll tell you all about it tomorrow morning.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye. She is Nikki. I knew it. Vicki never gave me that pin.
Crap! She tricked me! What did I say? What was that about, though? Oh, wait a minute. It was that pin. It was that pin. It had something to do with that pin. I've got to find out what it is. Wait a minute. There's something in here. There's got to be something in here. Please, I said I have a cold.
And I said I don't care.
Please, I don't want to make love. I feel rotten from this cold.
You sure it's cold? You sure it's not me? You sure it's not the fact that maybe you just don't feel any passion for me anymore?
Well, how can you even think that?
That's pretty damn easy. You throw me out of our bed, you run away from our home, you finally come back, and you still don't want anything to do with me. How long is this going to go on?
Really, I'm making too much of this.
Am I? How much am I supposed to take, honey? I love you, damn it. I'm your husband. Sex used to be a very important, beautiful thing in our lives.
Yes, I know that, and I am sorry. I know you're frustrated, and I want us to be lovers too, but can't it wait just a few days? I mean, until my cold is better.
Summertime it's headaches, and in the wintertime it's a cold. I can't wait till spring to see what you come up with.
Please, don't be angry.
It's not just anger, damn it.
I know, you're hurt. I'll make it up to you, I swear I will. Didn't you write anything about it? Wait a minute. It's right here. The night of the banquet. I'm afraid I lost control of myself, seeing that pin on Tina's dress and realizing she had appropriated it herself. Tina said Vicky gave it to her. Oh, man, did I fall into a trap here.
I ever had any doubts about who that lady is upstairs. Did I say lady? You come downstairs.
I thought you'd gone to the screening of Beau's movie.
Oh, well, I'm sure it's all over by now.
Well, in that case, may I have a few minutes of your time, please?
Of course. Anytime you like. After all, that's why I'm here.
Why did you bring up the subject of the pin?
The pin? Oh, that was just a casual remark.
You must have realized it would upset me.
Well, you didn't seem upset. In fact, you said something about that nobody deserved a present like that, quite like I did.
Yes, well, you caught me very off guard, and I was saying something just to be polite.
Oh. Why, do you resent my having it, my wearing it?
Oh, no, of course not. I got over those feelings a long time ago.
Well, are you quite sure? Because believe me, you can have it back right now.
Have it back? How could I have it back when it was never mine?
But upstairs when
Tina, that's what surprised me so. Where on earth did you ever get the idea that I gave it to you? I mean, is your memory failing?
No, I couldn't
think about it, my dear. If I had given it to you, Would I have been so angry when you showed up at the banquet wearing it? Or were you testing me?
I don't know what you mean.
I don't like that sort of thing, Tina. I'm perfectly well now. My memory is just as good as it ever was, and there is no reason for you to constantly keep a check on me. Is that understood?
Of course. But I really wasn't trying to. I mean, I really did get mixed up a little bit.
Well, I cannot imagine how. But I will give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll take your word for it. I know, Tina, that I have had lapses from time to time since I've come home.
Yes, and I've warned you about them.
Yes, and I have been very, very grateful to you for that. Believe me. But no more testing traps. Do we understand each other?
Well, sure, as I say.
And as
it's
I
just-
say, I'll take your word for it. I'm going to go upstairs to bed now. When Clint comes in, would you tell him that, please?
Sure.
Good.
Good night. Sleep tight.
Oh, I will. Don't worry. Gotcha, Tina. Played your last trick on me.
14 hours, there's a limit to human endurance, right? And besides, if Briggs can't put the paper to bed after this many years.
Do this again, Clove? You got it, Rhonda. Thanks.
Run, that's a pretty name.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I'll go do that one again, put them both on my tab.
Thank you again.
Well, you're welcome again. Where were we?
You were talking about the paper and how you couldn't wait to get out of that office.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a few places I can't wait to get away from these days. Ladies, happiness.
Well, Clint, you must be real happy getting home after all that, though.
Oh, words fail me. Words just fail me.
Well, having Vicky there and everything, I mean. Rhonda, you should see. He has the most wonderful family.
Oh, you bet.
Well, are the boys home with you?
No, not yet.
But I expect they will be right soon.
Well, I'll tell you, we're kind of playing it day to day. Vicky's got this bad cold, you see, and she doesn't want to expose the boys to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around, I tell you.
Now, why do people always say that? You tell somebody that you got a cold or a virus or I don't care what, somebody is going to say a lot of that going around. One more time.
Clint, maybe it's time for you to think about getting home now. You know what I mean? I even have some fellas in the back, and one of them would be happy to drive you.
Are you refusing to serve me?
Oh, no, I'm not refusing. Well, we do reserve that right and everything, but I'm sure that since we're such good friends that you wouldn't let it come to that now, would you? Tell you what, you sit still, and I'll be back directly. You just sit there.
My arm's not broke. I can just serve myself.
You don't want to get Clover in trouble, do you? People sue tavern owners when they have too much to drink and get into an accident or something. I'll make a deal with you. Clint, is it? Why don't you let me drive you? We'll go back to my place, have a nightcap, and then I'll run you home. How's that sound?
You just made me an offer I can't refuse. Almost. No, I better let Clover's fella drive me home. But I appreciate the offer. You are indeed a fine and very generous young lady. Maybe we'll meet again sometime.
Well, I'm here almost every night.
Is that a fact?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that ought to be enough motivation to make just about anybody become a regular customer in here. You take care.
You too. Oh, and thanks for the drink.
Oh, my distinct pleasure, ma'am.
Oh, Clint. Oh, Barney, he's going to run you home and everything. He's waiting out.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Chloe. Night.
Man with problems.
What'd I say?
Oh, nothing. Oh, I was just hoping it was my imagination.
I never saw anybody recover so fast. But if she thinks I'm onto her, she'll try to get rid of me. She can con Clint into anything. Except if he doesn't want me to leave. Oh, the master checking in? Hello?
Who am I talking to?
Who am I talking to?
The Briggs at the Banner. Put Mr. Buchanan on.
This is Tina Lord, Mr. Briggs. I'm afraid that Clint isn't here.
Where can I get a hold of him?
Well, I really couldn't say. Shall I have him call you when he gets in?
Oh, that might be too late. I'm up against a deadline. Guess I better talk to Mrs. Buchanan.
Well, I'm sorry she's gone to bed. She's not really feeling very good and she wants to shake it off. But if it's life or death...
Never mind. But if Mr. Buchanan comes in before 10 o'clock, have him call me.
I certainly will. And you have a lovely evening, Mr. Briggs. I should have put her on. How Nikki knows absolutely nothing about the newspaper business that I'd know for sure. Whether she's Vicky, or if she's Nikki just pretending to be Vicky.
I mean, who does she think she's dealing with, for heaven's sakes? Where does she come off trying to pull something like that? And then trying to cover up, telling me she got mixed up, didn't remember where it came from. I mean, really, who does she think she's dealing with? Vicky? Yeah, she does think she's dealing with Vicky. Maybe she doesn't. All right, Miss Tina. Congratulations. You just made number 3 on my list. I got rid of that shrink and heron, and I will get rid of you too, little sister. I gotta think of a really good way to do it. Got it. I'll let somebody else do the dirty work for me, though.
Did you ring, Mrs. Buchanan?
Yes. Is Mr. Buchanan home yet?
No, not yet. But Miss Lord passed on your instructions. She said you were not to be disturbed.
Yes, well, something very important has come up, Peg.
Oh.
And I need to speak to Mr. Buchanan the minute he gets home.
Oh, very well. I'll tell him.
All right, Miss Tina Lord. Whatever you're calling yourself these days. See if you're smart enough to block that move.
Always do your drinking in the dark?
Oh, Tina?
Oh. Good evening, Mr. Buchanan.
Peg, how are you?
Just lovely, thank you. Mrs. Buchanan said she would love to speak to you as soon as you came home. She's in her room.
Oh, must be important. I'll go up in a minute. Thanks, Peg.
I thought she'd gone to bed. I knew she wasn't feeling very well.
Yeah, well.
Well, are you sure you want her to see you in this condition?
Tina, the question is whether I can deal with her if I'm not in this condition.
Well, maybe you just ought to put it off until tomorrow morning.
What's the point in waiting? Might as well get it over with. Anyway, what are you so worried about? I mean, a little domestic difference of opinion? That's between me and Vicky, right?
Yeah, I just don't like to see, you and her. Oh, I almost forgot. Mr. Briggs called, and he wanted you to call him back. He said it's very important.
Well, everything's very important with Mr. Briggs.
Oh, but he sounded very upset. He said something about having to talk to you before 10.
The early home.
What?
What? Oh, the early home. It's the the edition that is delivered to people's houses the first thing in the morning. I still got 45 minutes.
Oh, she's gonna tell him to get rid of me. I know she is.
Yes? Clint, come in. You're home. Congratulations.
Sweetheart? Well, there was a big crisis at the office before I left.
Oh, so you stopped off on the way home and had a few, hmm?
Does it show?
A little bit, yes.
Well, I'm sorry. Maybe I should have waited till morning, but Peg said you wanted to... Would you rather I wait until morning? How's your cold?
Oh, I'll survive.
I mean, is it better?
Yeah, a little bit better. No. I'm sorry. I don't want to put all this misery on you. I didn't mean to do that.
Well, what am I here for, anyway?
Well, not to be a doormat. And I'm sorry. But I'm afraid I have treated you a little bit like a doormat recently, and I really want to make it up to you. I'm so sorry about it. I want to start by apologizing.
There's no apology needed.
Yes, there is. For a bad mistake in judgment. Clint, I finally realized I should never have asked Tina to come here to live with us. Oh, go on. Say I told you so.
We all make mistakes.
Yes, but I don't see how we can go on this way.
You mean you want her to move?
Oh, yes.
It's that bad?
It's much worse than you could ever think.
Sweetheart, I don't understand. I mean, what brought this on? The two of you have a fight?
No, it wasn't any one specific thing, you know. It was just lots of things. It's just sort of her manner, her attitude.
I hate to be in a position of defending her, but I think her attitude's been pretty good.
Oh, with you, yes. Butter wouldn't melt, but with me, she's become a very different person recently. She's become so bossy, and she orders the servants around, and they resent it. I can see it in their faces.
Well, maybe she's just trying to help you run the house, you know, take some of the burden off you, huh?
Oh, I never asked her to do that, though, did I?
Oh, why don't you tell her to stop?
But I have, in the nicest way possible. I really have. And it doesn't do any good. As soon as my back is turned, she goes right back to doing what she did before, strutting around here, acting like the lady of the manor. Oh, I know, I'm being very oversensitive, and I probably should just ignore the whole thing, but I just don't feel able to deal with it right now. Clint,
What?
would you ask her to leave?
Would I ask her to leave?
Well, she'll take it a lot better coming from you.
And what excuse would I give her?
Oh, I don't know. I don't care. I'm sure you'll think of some excuse. The problem is if I ask her to leave, then her feelings will be hurt and our relationship as sisters will be ruined.
But do you really care about that relationship?
Of course I do. But just because we're sisters doesn't mean we have to live under the same roof, right? Oh, darling, please, won't you do this one little tiny thing for me?
Well, I suppose I could put it on the basis of my concern for you, and I'm wanting things to run more on an even keel around here, and I'm trying to get rid of every possible complication, but I'm trying to make things as serene and simple for you.
Oh, that's perfect. If you say it just like that, then of course she'll understand.
All right, I'll do it now. Honey, I wonder if I shouldn't wait until morning, you know, when my head's a little clearer.
Oh, all right. But first thing in the morning.
Okay, sure. Would your ladyship desire anything else?
Oh, sweetheart, I wish. I just don't feel well enough yet. Please be patient with me a little longer.
You're so beautiful.
Oh, I have a red nose. Thank you for understanding.
I really don't,
Well,
understand. I mean,
I know, but thank you for being so accepting, and it's not going to be long, I promise you.
one of these days I'm gonna make you keep the promise. Good night, honey.
Good night.
You've always been here for me, haven't you, Tina?
Well, I've certainly tried to be.
And I appreciate it. I mean, the way you took over and handled the wedding. You know, it's not easy for me to say this, but you were a better hostess than Vicky would have been.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, I do. But then you're a lord. You're born to this kind of thing.
You mean it shows?
In every word you say, and every move you make. Our place is here, Tina. Promise me you'll stay. Promise me you'll never leave me.
She gave me a fright.
Oh, Tina.
It was so dark in here, I thought for sure you'd gone on up to bed.
No, I'm just waiting for Briggs to call back. He wasn't in when I called him.
Oh. Then, in that case, do you mind a little company?
No, of course not. For you a drink?
No, thanks. I was just going to get a little hot chocolate.
All right.
Have you noticed what a lovely evening it is? Like the moon is so bright. You know, pretty soon we're going to be seeing Halley's Comet.
Yeah.
You know, it's the only time we're going to get to see it in this lifetime. I guess we ought to take advantage of it while we can, right? What's the matter?
Nothing. I'm just a little tired, I guess. I guess I'll turn in for the night. Look, if Briggs calls, would you,
Speak of the devil? Oh, no, I'll get that for you. Replace secretary. Buchanan residence.
Briggs, returning Mr. Buchanan's call.
Just a moment, please, Mr. Briggs.
Thank you. Don't go in. Yeah, Briggs.
Arnett was indicted today.
You're kidding.
Word came through right after you left the office.
I know what you're going to say. You wonder how it's going to look when we run his ad and an indictment story in the same edition, right?
Right.
Well, Look, we're going to have to play it straight, Briggs. Where were you planning on running the indictment story?
Well, first page of the Metropolitan section, I thought.
Good, good. Under a banner head. And listen, if you got a 3-column cut of Barnett, use it.
Well, how about the ad?
Well, run it on in an island on the next page, and then the people can just look at the ad and read the story and make up their own minds.
Gotcha.
Is that it?
Well, was I wrong to call you?
No, not at all. Any time, Briggs. Good night.
Well, very impressive.
What?
Well, I just love all that newspaper jargon, you know, all that. It just fascinates me.
Like what? What do you mean?
Oh, like banner and island. What's the cut?
It's a picture. It's a photograph.
Wasn't that silly? Why don't you just say so?
Well, we have to be mysterious to the rest of the world, huh? No, Tina, don't run off in the morning. I want to talk to you before I go to the office.
Fine, I'll be around. Why don't you just go on up and go to bed? I'll lock up and turn off all the lights.
Thank you.
Good night. Banner, island, cut. It's all very interesting, isn't it?
Pete's sake.
Yes? Are you awake?
I am now.
Well, may I come in?
Yes. Oh.
I'm sorry. I know it's awful late.
Oh, yes, it is.
Well, it's just that we got this phone call, and I have been worried about it ever since. You see, it seems there's some sort of emergency at the Banner. Yes, Mr. Briggs. The city editor. He called, and he said it had he had some questions about some politician named Burnett. Does that ring a bell?
What about him?
Well, Clint probably could have helped him, but he'd had a few too many drinks, and he was kind of passed out on the couch. And, well, I'm hoping maybe you can help Briggs out with this.
You want me to call him now?
Oh, no. I'd be more than happy to call him. It's just that I need to know what to say. In fact, I have a few notes right here. Okay, now what Mr. Briggs really wants to know is that, he's going to run the article on Mr. Barnett on the first page of the second section. But what he wants to know is whether or not he should use scaffold or staggered headlines. Now, I have no idea what he's talking about, but I assume you do.
Tell him I would prefer the scaffold headline. Did you hear what I said? I said the scaffold headline.
Oh, I heard. Nice try, but no cigar. Nicky Smith.
Nicky? Why are you calling me Nicky?
You're good. That I got to give you that. You are keeping up this act to the bitter end, aren't you, Nicole Smith?
Stop calling me that.
I'm calling your bluff, Nicky. Because that is your name, and I can prove it. Now, Vicki Buchanan is dead and gone. And Nicole Smith is alive and well and living in Landing.
I know that everyone around this house has been so suspicious lately, but you, Tina.
All right, you want proof? Okay, you got it. Like how I just happened to be outside this door when I heard you playing back tapes of the Banner banquet.
kind of proof is that?
You were speaking along with the tapes.
So, I was practicing.
Practicing?
Yeah. Oh, Tina, come on. You know that I'm called upon very frequently to give speeches in public.